Galactic.
Oh.
Did I ever tell you that I don't like you, and I hope you kiss my ass?
I would never do such a thing.
Twice on a Tuesday.
I did.
What?
I would never do such a thing. Fire for that.
No homo. I hope.
No. Fire for that.
Okay, cool, Galactic.
Fire for that.
Cool. Welcome to the podcast, everybody. I'm glad. I'm sorry you had to hear that nonsense that Galactic. He said something out of his mouth, and it just oozed with all smugness. So we had to correct his smugness on air again. So hopefully he.
Smuggles.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm gonna start calling you Smuggles now.
Smuggles.
Smuggles the slump god. Anywho.
I think it's a dog. That's what you should name your dog, Smuggles.
Wow. I've been reduced to dogs.
No, I said if you get a dog.
Well, it doesn't matter now. Oh.
Yeah?
Right.
I got distracted with something. I'm sorry. I apologize. I got completely distracted. Oh my god. Welcome to the podcast, everybody. This is how we start the podcast today. Alright. We started off with a bunch of nonsense. First things first. Let's talk about, the greatest thing that's happened, all week, and that was NXT's In Your House, I think. I don't remember.
No, man. That's not the greatest thing that happened all week.
All week?
All week, man. It's not the greatest thing.
Okay. We'll get to that part when we get to that part. You shut your damn mouth. Okay? Don't want to spoil it for the kids that are listening and or watching this podcast, and then telling them it's time for your bed. You shouldn't be listening or watching this podcast. Where are your parents? It's time to stop. If anybody got that reference, $5 for you. Anywho,
you don't want to make that profit.
Only kids.
Ugly.
If you're older than 10, you ain't getting nothing. You're getting that IOU. Anywho,
you don't want to make that promise either.
Yo, shut the fuck. Jesus Christ. Anywho, so NXT happens. I can honestly say solid show. Except, I'm sorry, Spirit. I apologize. But
Can you close your doors as well? Because it's just a little bit. So, because there's an echo in my joint with you. You just close it just a little bit.
Okay. Again, I apologize. Karrion Kross. He's not that good.
Why do you say that?
Well, and I know we're starting at the main event of the match, the night, but that Fatal 5-Way, Karrion Kross did nothing. Karrion Kross did 2 moves, got hit, went to sleep, and then the other 4 people carried the damn match.
I don't know why they also had all 5 people. Like, he needs to, first of all, as much as I don't want to see him go back, but Finn Balor, he ain't got shit else to do in NXT. He needs to actually go to the main roster now. He actually is very much needed, so he needs to go.
You don't want that, dude.
I know, but he ain't got shit else to do. Pete Dunne can also get called up, because Pete Dunne at this point, he literally has not done too much either. So Pete Dunne, Finn Balor can go. But I feel like they just put everybody all together just for the sake of putting everybody together. Kross, his style, like, they're like, oh, well, they're not gonna, he's like not that type of wrestler, he's a brawler, which is fine, but we've had other brawlers, whatever, that do more than just 2-3 moves. So it's not even so much, and it's like, and one person, I remember saying, it was like, oh, well, you guys let John Cena get away with just doing 5 moves. I don't let John Cena get away with shit. I also call John Cena fucking lazy and trash.
Whoever said that is fucking dumb. Did they not hear all the shit John Cena got for years of 5 moves of doom?
Exactly. Right, exactly. So, I don't understand that person. Right, I don't even understand. Maybe he talking about stuff, oh, I came out with a 6 move. I have a 6 move. Fucking underpunch or some bullshit.
I mean, John Cena he trolled people with that shit, so, I mean...
Right. So, I I just don't understand. I'm not saying that there's like no appeal and stuff to him, because I'm pretty sure there is, but I don't know if it's like just
for NXT. He's meant for main roster. He's not.
Yeah, just like
really
his gimmick and stuff. I'm not really all that cool. It's like, okay, you build him up to a monster, but I just don't fucking see it. Scarlett, literally, she's just there, just as eye candy, whatever. She just comes in. It's just like, ooh, I have poofy lips and blonde hair and big tits.
Yeah, that's what Scarlett Bordeaux's always done in her career. It's one of those things where I think Karrion is good, and it's nice for him to go to NXT, but it should have only been like a short-term thing. He should have been on main. He's a main roster character. He doesn't really fit really what NXT embodies, which is like, not saying Karrion Kross is bad. It's just he's more of a main roster entity than he is.
Yeah, I see him better with the main roster than NXT.
Yeah, like Karrion Kross, like I said, even during that match, I was just like, yo, the other 4 people in this match, it could have been missing Karrion Kross, and the match would have been 4 times better. That's the sad part.
His moments were nice, but I mean, more than enough on the right home belt.
God, fuck no. Yeah, it didn't seem like he should have been in that match. I'm sorry. It was just like, yo, you're boring. And then when this man fell asleep for a good portion of the match, I was like, bruh, get out of here, son.
I mean, that tells you who wins the match, though. WWE, they do this shit every triple threat match.
Yeah, that made it super predictable that he was going to win the match. Like, the very second this man fell asleep, I was like, yo, seriously?
I mean, it happens. Like, it happens in every triple threat match.
Yeah, and as I say, I have more fucking hope for NXT. So when dumb shit like that happens, I get mad. Like, yo, I have more of a high hopes for you guys. What are you doing?
NXT has fallen in terms of quality, so my expectation for NXT is kind of low.
I just
feel better show than Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, buy
it's no longer top tier show.
Yeah, it's not as top tier as it used to be. We're gonna have to agree with that because NXT used to be, oh my god, who's about to come out this week? Well,
NXT used to be must watch. Now it's not really must watch.
It's like you can miss it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You can miss it and you'll be perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Like, they tout that they have the best women's division, but if you have the best women's division, but if ain't nobody watching your shit, then if you could have all the best division that you fucking want.
Yeah, pretty much.
And AEW has the best tag team division, but guess what? People are actually fucking watching it.
Yeah, that's the difference. I'd watch a match from AEW and care about it, even if I don't watch episodes of AEW. I cared about that match at the last pay-per-view between John Moxley and what's his name versus the Young Bucks. I actually liked the fucking match, especially how it ended.
Eddie Kingston.
Yeah, I like how the match ended. I like the chaos in the match. I like Jungle Boy when he gets in the ring. I like the triple threat match. I like the Stadium Stampede match. I also like the Casino Royale match. As I said, I like their Casino Royale match because it does the same thing as a Royal Rumble, but in a quicker time. So, and obviously there's going to be less, oh my god, it's Hurricane Helmsley coming out, So, that's why I'm just like, you guys, WWE needs to, I don't know, it needs a change, bro. I don't know. And, when a lot of people are saying, yeah, I'm not watching WWE no more, or I don't give a fuck about WWE at this point, and I was Vince, I'd be like, yo, I hear that, I'm like, alright, we gotta do something.
Well, sadly, they don't really see this, and it's not really going to so much be impactful if people start watching, because clearly people will start watching, because their ratings is some of the worst ratings in the history of, Raw. SmackDown is being carried literally Roman Reigns is back That's really the reason why SmackDown is not doing trash. Even though if it's not a Roman Reigns segment with the Uso segment and maybe another segment here and there, it's SmackDown ain't as good. It's just not as bad as Raw. But Raw is doing some of the worst numbers that it has ever had in the history of that show. And sadly, Vince McMahon ain't doing shit about it, because even though the numbers will dwindle, they still getting billions and dollars and stuff like that from their TVs and shit. For their TV deals, all the other deals and shit that they making. So it's like, well, fuck it, I'm still making money, so.
Yeah. Yeah, and then people wonder why the quality is low, and it was like, well, you're fucking paying for the tickets and shit.
Did you guys hear about the lawsuit?
What's going on with the lawsuit?
Yes, I sent the
I didn't read it.
For that, the article for that in the chat.
What's going on with it? I didn't read it, so it can be explained on the podcast. It was a marketing strategy.
Well, from what I understand, it's like a stock, like fraudulent stock situation.
Oh, insider trading. That's actually a serious fucking crime.
Yeah, and Mr. McMahon's on the hot seat.
Where's McMahon not been on the hot seat?
Well, not just Mr. McMahon. In fact, I believe Triple H was also there. Stephanie was also there. A bunch of them are on the hot seat right now for that. And we're talking millions of dollar lawsuit.
Millions? That's nothing to WWE.
Yeah, that's nothing. I thought you were saying,
I'm talking about in the hundreds of millions.
That's still nothing to WWE. As much money as they're making. And Vince McMahon's lawyer is so fucking shrewd, he'll probably get him out of it somehow. As always. Seeing WWE get sued nowadays is like the sky being blue. I mean, think of all the lawsuits they've had, the suings, and
yeah, they had millions of lawsuits at this point.
But that's it. The match is over, just like that. Yeah.
You got to think about it like this, though. A lot of people would love to get Mr. McMahon's ass.
Oh yeah, I mean, many have tried, and many have come close, but many have failed. In fact, all has failed.
Really?
People would love to see Mr. McMahon.
Wow, Roman got this man to tap out with a headlock.
The guillotine.
Not even the guillotine?
Not even like that. I mean, it was half guillotine. He didn't get the full guillotine on. He kind of raised neck to the side a little bit, like a headlock, and wrenched it a little bit and right taps. I mean, if you want to call it a guillotine, I guess you could, but it wasn't like the Roman Reigns put you to sleep. He actually was standing up and put his...
That was our pay-per-view?
He didn't have his legs wrapped around the
So, we got this match early for it to end shitty like that?
Hello?
Yeah.
He just wrenched his neck and right tapped.
Oh, okay. I guess that's your pay-per-view, everybody. Woo! Now it's not happening on the actual fucking pay-per-view.
And now Jimmy's out there.
And what is Jimmy doing?
He just held Roman Reigns' hand up.
It was Jay.
I don't know.
Because that actually kind of matters. So, yeah.
Which one was it? Mr. Darkwave?
Huh?
I said, which twin was it?
Jimmy.
Oh, it's actually Jimmy, not Jay?
He's doing the same neck thing.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what that... It's like a modified headlock. Where he's like choking him like that. I don't fucking
And he's
know.
still doing it on Ray? Why is he still attacking Ray?
No, Ray... Well, because Roman's in it.
Yeah.
I don't know what that's called, but it wasn't. It was like a standing guillotine, but not guillotine. It's weird. It literally looks like a fucking standing headlock, but wrenching the neck to the side, as if he's kind of like choking like the guillotine.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like an actual submission instead of people going to sleep.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
So, How do you guys feel about the not only is Raw Roulette coming back, but King of the Ring? Remember Raw Roulette where they like spin the wheel?
Oh,
That's coming back, and King of the Ring is coming back.
Raw Roulette? What does Raw Roulette even do?
you want my honest
It's
opinion
the
about
one where
that?
it's the one where they spin the wheel and random shit happens.
That dumb shit?
Yep.
Really?
And King of the Ring. Yep.
Do you actually want my honest opinion on that, or you want me to lie and give y'all like a non-honest opinion?
Let's be honest.
Who gives a shit?
That's what I was
Who
expecting.
gives a shit? Like,
What I was expecting.
it doesn't matter because Raw is the same fucking and the same people. So it's like, who cares?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it just doesn't matter.
Yeah,
We'll
pretty
watch
much
it.
is what-
They'll have some intrigue, but let's face it, Raw Roulette. And this is just because of a new Vince McMahon edict of no more cold matches. Means he wants matches to have meaning, which in hindsight is good, but in WWE land, no one gives a shit anyway. Like, I don't know. But I wasn't trying to poo-poo in the whole state. It's just, it was a shit. Like,
No
I
one
agree.
really
Raw
does.
is in the doldrums of boring because there's no fucking.
This man said
They
no
have
more
no
cold
bomb.
matches. He really said that himself,
Yeah.
even though he's the reason why we have cold matches in the first place.
That's why that whole Jeff Hardy, I'll retire now if you beat me shit happened, because he don't want no more matches just to. He doesn't want shit just to happen for the sake of happening, I guess. And this is according to the reports.
What?
But this is just because he doesn't want it to happen for the sake of happening. He wants it to be a meaningful reason why these people are fighting. I'm like, okay, on paper, that's great, but
Like
It's-
Vince, you were the reason why half these matches were the way they
At-
were.
at the end of the day, I'll be honest with you, man. At the end of the day, none of the things that they do right now matters. Because it's not even just the booking. You have to, well, it is the booking, but you have to rebuild at this point. Like, you are in a spot now where even if you booked everyone great, no one's going to be believing in these characters whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it doesn't matter. You could put Jeff Hardy on a fucking win streak of 1,000. It won't matter. Like, who's gonna believe in Jeff Hardy after he's been a loser for months? No one wants to see Drew McIntyre, and there's no one else on the Raw brand that anyone cares about.
And being real, what I want them to do is kind of like, if I was Vince McMahon, I would have.
I will be right back.
I would have basically it where I'd put the newer talents on one show so that they can shine, and the people that we already kind of know and we've seen for a bit, put them on like Raw and book it properly. You can do something with that. I'm tired of just the same shit that we've been getting. It's kind
Raw
of
needs to
annoying.
reset.
We need a reset, a shake-up, or something. And
What
I
Raw
think-
needs is for Vince to come out there, strip everyone of the titles, and start over.
yeah,
I'm not even lying. Like, you can have, merge tag divisions, merge women's divisions,
mhm.
and the other titles can settle, how they are. But he needs to come out there and just be like, look, we are resetting this brand.
Yeah, that's what he needs to do.
It'll be, it'll be kind of, meta in terms of it'll show that WWE is, kind of scripted or whatever the case may be. However you want to look at it, but it has to happen.
Yeah.
It has to be. You cannot sit here and continue to give us the same shit. These shows are largely the same show every single week. And you have talent on the shows where Raw and SmackDown we'll just stick to Raw, but where Monday Night Raw could be and should be one of the best wrestling shows on television in the entire world. You have the talent: Ali, Humberto, Ricochet, Orton, Riddle, Keith Lee, who's in the back of a milk carton, McIntyre, Lashley, etc., etc., etc. And yet you continuously give us the same shit, same outcomes, no importance, nothing matters. And then on top of that, you make these strong champions and nobody's believable.
Yeah.
You know, it's at a point, and people say, well, we can have a shake-up. A shake-up won't help. Who gives a shit? What, we're going to put Seth Rollins back on Monday Night Raw? What's Seth Rollins doing right now on SmackDown? Like, everyone jumps to a shake-up of some sort. I mean, it's not going to change shit. You put Seth Rollins back on Raw, what is he going to do? Do the same shit he's doing now. You could put Finn Balor on there, but we don't know how they're going to treat Finn Balor when he comes back. Is he going to be the Prince? Or is he going to be underwear model Finn? We have no idea. You know, who else? You know, you could bring him Adam Cole and this and that, but I mean, the booking tells you it won't matter. You know, unless there's a complete just change of the guard or something of the sort. Monday Night Raw, SmackDown Live, it doesn't matter. Will remain largely the same. SmackDown is as bad as Raw minus Roman Reigns and anything that he's doing. SmackDown is just as bad.
Yeah.
You know, yes, there are certain things on Raw. I mean, on SmackDown, I like more than Raw. Like the Otis thing, I think Apollo Crews is doing great. But then you can liken that to Raw, because on Raw you have the Orton Riddle thing, which is great. And then you have Sheamus, who's doing great work as United States Champion. And I like Sheamus. So they're kind of the same. Except SmackDown has Roman, and Raw doesn't. And that should, and Roman is the best thing in all, including NXT, WWE.
Okay.
So,
well, how do you feel about Stephanie's promise? So Stephanie apparently was on an interview recently, and she made a promise that SummerSlam month would be full of surprises, whatever that's supposed to mean.
They're gonna cut some more people.
You know, let me tell you about these surprises. They don't matter because the way the world works nowadays. What? John Cena? That's been reported for months now.
John Cena is
Brock Lesnar.
That's not a surprise.
You know,
that's going to piss people off. Both of them. That's just going to piss people off.
Well, no. John Cena versus Roman will be a good match, but the problem is...
What?
Roman already issued a warning to The Rock and John Cena.
It's going to happen probably at some point. John Cena versus The Rock. I mean, not John Cena. John Cena versus Roman Reigns. Which is fine. I'm fine with it. John Cena will lose and such and such and such. But the problem, it's not a surprise. Because someone in your company, leaks out information, and we, the fans, find said information through Meltzer or Sean Ross Sapp or whomever podcast you listen to, and thus, when we hear it, we either be like, okay, this is great, or oh no, this is going to suck. So the surprises aren't really there anymore. Right? That's like, it's not a surprise. We know they're coming back. It's been an obvious thing. When they come back is a different story, but we know they're coming. WWE and surprise, you can't really surprise much in wrestling unless you just do shit. No plans. You just kind of, like if a character just walks out on stage one day, like Andrade did with AEW.
Pretty much.
You can't do surprises because these higher up podcasters know people within your company, and those people in the company are going to give them hints and tips, and the podcasters won't say who it is, so you can't find out who it is. You can't fire everybody because you got to rehire people. So, you put yourself in a situation where surprises aren't really a thing. I don't care about that. Just make better booking. You need to put as much focus as what you're doing with Roman Reigns until your other fucking shows. And it's that simple. All it takes is a little bit of fucking effort, and you'll have a decent show. You can do it with Roman Reigns, although that's probably all Paul Heyman. But you can do it with Roman Reigns. You can do it with other people, even if it's not as good. At least show the fucking care. They don't even show the care for these people.
Yeah.
You know, Seth Rollins, one of your bigger stars that you created over the last decade, and look what the fuck y'all did to him. You sabotaged his babyface run, garbage. You turned him heel, okay, had to be done. And what has he done? The Monday Night Messiah shit, it had some legs. It could have went somewhere, but what happened? You feud him with the Mysterios for basically an entire year. This embrace the vision shit. His suits are more over than the actual character. Mm-hmm. What are we doing?
Speaking of Seth Rollins, Becky Lynch has been spotted in the Performance Center again, so expect her to return soon. That may be one of the surprises Stephanie was.
Is that really a surprise for you? Would you care?
But it doesnn't solve the problem.
It's not going to.
It's not a surprise for me.
She'll come back as the man.
Probably what she was talking about.
Because she can't turn heel. What's going on? I mean,
no, she could. She could come back heel. I wouldn't.
She could come back heel, but the fans will cheer her like they did the last time they tried to turn her heel. Unless she attacks someone that everybody loves, which is like at this point, who? Asuka. That's it.
It wouldn't make sense for her to attack Asuka, since that she literally gave Asuka the title on her way out.
Yeah, you can't turn her heel against Charlotte. Nobody likes Charlotte, which is why her heel turn failed the first time.
Yeah.
If you put her on Smack, okay, let's just go with assumptions here. Let's say they stick her with her husband, or soon-to-be husband, Mr. Rollins, and she on SmackDown. The only person she can attack that people may like is Bianca Belair. But even then, I mean, the way Bianca's been booked, people may want Becky to take the title anyway. And they look at Becky as more Stone Cold, so they probably won't even look at it as a fucking heel turn. They'll just look at it as Becky like, alright, bitch, I want my title back. Or I want a title, or whatever the case may be. Sure. So, I mean, you can't book her as a... And then she just had a baby. You know, can't really book her as a heel. Seth is one thing. But, you know, we don't know how the fans are going to react to Seth when they come back either. If WrestleMania is an indication, they cheered him at WrestleMania during his entrance. So who the fuck knows?
Yeah. I wonder how things are going to go now, because, you know, some people got a little bit more comfortable in the Thunderdome, as they call it.
It's over.
You know, restrictions are lifting, right? Was it in a month or two? So I don't know how
Florida's been unrestricted for years. I mean,
Maryland's supposed to.
Maryland's doing on July
1st.
Yeah. But I'm saying the restrictions are going down, so I know the wrestling venues are going to come back. I think they said after SummerSlam, yeah? So...
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I'm sick of that fake crowd shit.
I wonder how...
Doesn't fans come back at Money in the Bank? They'll be back July 16th.
Yeah, but they won't be, like, a back on, like, the weekly basis until, I think, after SummerSlam. It may be back in Money in the Bank.
No, because WWE is going back on the road. Same with AEW.
Okay, so that's probably after Money in the Bank then.
No, that's before. That's the week. That's the week of Money in the Bank.
Interesting.
So Money in the Bank will be in front of fans.
Now, are we sure it's going to be Money in the Bank? Because recently they've been switching up the schedule, low key.
Yeah, that's why they did it. Hell in a Cell, because they don't give a shit. And they rather do have, Hell in a Cell has been bad as of late.
Last good Hell in a Cell was like 2016.
And you don't want fans poo-pooing Hell in a Cell.
I mean, they made Hell in a Cell have disqualifications twice.
And Money in the Bank.
Twice. Like, how did you do that? Why did you do that?
And Money in the Bank is more...
I need someone
fan heavy.
to actually like utilize the Money in the Bank like the way it's supposed to be used. Like actually,
you mean not what the
not
Miz
give it
is
to the Miz. Do not give it to Otis if you're not gonna use him, which is a missed opportunity.
Money in the Bank's going to a Raw superstar unless they want to.
I think it'd be more interesting
ask
on
for
Roman.
Roman's title run with Money in the Bank.
I think it would be more interesting on Roman. But at the same time, I don't want to see whoever the person is lose their title or lose their contract, so don't do Roman.
Well, the thing is, I mean, the problem with Roman Reigns is you're going to have to ask pull his way out of that title. He can't hold the title forever. He can hold it for a very long time, but you can't hold it forever. So he's going to get an ass pull.
This is going to be Jinder Mahal.
It's going to be basically
that would kill everything.
I don't know. I don't even know who is even worth Money in the Bank this year. To be honest with you,
I want to see who.
Do you give it to a babyface? Do you give it to? I mean, it usually it's better on a heel.
I think AJ would be interesting with it. AJ would be interesting.
The only one.
I could see that. AJ would be interesting.
AJ would be interesting. Get rid of Omos.
They're not going to do that.
That part is boring. That's the boring part.
Oh, you mean the way he uses Omos? Yeah.
Yeah, it's boring. It's gonna get boring really quickly. And for me, it's like, oh, you just a big man. You don't know how to wrestle, even though you were on Independence for 2 seconds. You're still bad at this job.
I give him credit because at least he's trying. You know, he's not like most that just come in and they just know they're big and they don't try. Like, you know, he's actually trying. So I give him that credit.
Who, Omos?
No.
Yeah, he needs some training, but at least he's trying.
I don't think he's trying.
You don't think so? I feel like he's
I just feel like he comes in, does 2 moves, and then fucking comes.
He's doing what WWE's asking him to do.
Yeah, that's why I think.
Whether or not he's trying or not in the PC, we have no idea.
Well, from what it looks like this man just sits there, does a backbreaker.
That's what WWE wants him to do.
Yeah, and it's like
that's what Mr. McMahon's ass wants him to do.
That's what he
wanted Keith Lee to do.
I don't know, man. At this point, I don't know. Like, you look at the scale of Money in the Bank. I mean, who is better on a heel?
But not a stupid heel.
The only one that's even worth. I mean, not right. You can give it to a babyface and turn the heel, but I mean, I don't know. Do you give it to AJ? Do you give it to? I mean, AJ's tag champions. I don't know if you're gonna give them both. I don't know if they would.
I think AJ would be cool.
It's really
AJ would be cool.
Sami Zayn, but
no, I don't want to see it. God, no. Kevin Owens might be cool. There's gonna be just one more person I'm thinking of. Cesaro would be cool.
They begged Cesaro. Fucking Mick Foley and goddamn the Stone Cold begged Vince to push Cesaro.
Yeah,
damn, son.
They did. They got on their hands and knees and they were like, Cesaro, push him.
He deserves it. The man's been there for damn near 10 years. He deserves something, and he's not that. Cesaro has done everything they wanted him to do. He's been in every type of tag team you can possibly imagine. He's done, everything he's been asked to do, and he is phenomenal at his job. He deserves a push. It's not even about being world champion. It's just being on television in a meaningful way. As far as Money in the Bank, I don't know. If Drew wins the title at Hell in the Cell, or as I want to call it, pampering in the cell. That's what they do nowadays. I don't know who gets that thing.
So,
I think Cedric would be an interesting choice as well.
What the fuck was the point of fighting for a dead crown?
if they're gonna do King of the Ring soon anyway, that's a good choice. That's a good question.
That's just a rumor, man. We don't know if they're actually fucking do it.
No, I don't really care about having King of the Ring because they always give it to a fucking heel, and every time they give it to the heel becomes a king, whatever the fuck his name is, changes his fucking music, and it gets annoying. It's like, yo, give it to a babyface. For the love of all that is holy, give it to a fucking babyface just one time.
Babyface, I mean, King of the Ring. The only reason why WWE uses King of the Ring is to bring it back as an actual gimmick. So, I mean, a babyface winning is fine. Like Shinsuke won the little battle for the crown shit. But they only brushed off the WWE to the King of the Ring for a character gimmick.
It's then, so stupid. Yo.
King Booker, King Sheamus, King Corbin. They only dusted off for, okay, we're going to swap your character. What should we do? Well, let's make him like a king. So we'll bring back King of the Ring to give it to this guy so he can switch his gimmick up to be this. To be the king of blah, blah, blah. They don't care about the tournament.
Bro, that's so sad, yo. It's like you have this great pay-per-view. You have this great thing going on, and yet you never utilize it. Are you serious?
Hey, man. Yeah, I will say, no matter what people think of him, JD said it right. Everything should lead to something. King of the Ring, you do King of the Ring, should lead to SummerSlam. SummerSlam should lead to, a Royal Rumble or whatever. Or Survivor Series. Survivor Series should lead to, everything should be...
It should lead somewhere. I get it. And I understand.
King of the Ring shouldn't be, oh, we're changing a character's gimmick. Let's dust off the King of the Ring. No, King of the Ring should lead you to SummerSlam. Like Royal Rumble leads you to Mania. Money in the Bank, that gives you... Money in the Bank is basically who you're saying is the next in line. That is your way of saying this guy is the next in line when we deem him ready. And the champion will always be protected when losing to him because it's a cash-in. But this is going to be the guy that eventually will groom around and this, that, and the other.
It makes sense.
Survivor Series, Survivor Series, Raw versus SmackDown if you want to keep doing that, or I wouldn't. I mean, the fight, you build up feuds to where a 5-on-5 makes sense. You build everything around feuds, have characters interact with people as if they work in the same fucking workplace, and you set up a 5 versus. It doesn't have to be brand versus brand, even though it's easy. It's an easy excuse. You can keep it that way.
But the last good Survivor Series had NXT in it. That was the sad part.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to be lazy with booking, you can keep the Survivor Series 5 on, Raw versus SmackDown, or you can have it just be one of the brands doing 5, 5 versus 5, or because you have stories happening with Roman and Seth interacting on the show as if they work in the same fucking workplace, and they have common, Seth doesn't like Cesaro, Roman doesn't like Kevin Owens, but Cesaro and Kevin Owens are friends, so they're like, all right, well, we'll team, we'll deal, we'll mutually be on the same side to deal with our fucking enemies, and then that leads to a 5 versus 5, with other characters embroiled in story. Everyone should be in the storyline. But because you work in the same place, the shit intertwines with each other. You can't just not see this shit happening. The Street Profits are.
I was gonna say the only reason I like Survivor Series this time is because no Braun Strowman. And I don't know if you noticed, for the last couple of years, they just had him in there and he just murdered half whoever the fuck was there, and then he left. Like, yeah, I'm tired of that. So this year, at least, we'll get to see something fresh with quotation marks around that.
Yeah, heavy quotations, sir. Heavy quotations.
Yeah,
it's fine. We'll be fine. We'll just have to wait and see if SummerSlam doesn't live up to Stephanie McMahon's hype, which we know it won't.
I was about to say, it's not going to. We all know it's not going to.
Sasha Bianca to John Cena versus Roman Reigns. I don't know. We'll just throw out I don't know.
The Rock
Seth
shows up
versus
at the end.
Edge. Who else? Intercontinental title on the line. United States title on the line. I don't know who Drew fights. If it's, let's just say, if it's Drew, it'll be against Jinder. If it's Bobby Lashley, probably against Kofi or some shit. I don't know.
Thank you for mentioning that. I like what they're doing with Kofi.
I don't care about Kofi, man. This Kofi shit it doesn't make sense. Like, it's not believable whatsoever. What chance does Kofi have against Lashley? Realistically, didn't Kofi lose 7 seconds to Brock Lesnar?
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. Like, I like Kofi, but it's like I'm watching this. I'm like, okay.
You want me to what against Kofi? That's exactly what I'm like. So you think you're gonna want me to make believe that Kofi has a chance of betraying what's called, even though he based his career off of that shit? Like, are you serious right now?
Like, they had him book Kofi to look legit since he lost to Lesnar, and he never brought it up. You know, he just kind of went back to throwing pancakes.
Yeah,
Bobby Lashley has been a killer, and it's not because Kofi. It's not the fact that Kofi couldn't, make a compelling match with Lashley. It's the fact of how Lashley has been booked that Kofi should not be giving Lashley any type of competition. Lashley has run through that roster. I'm not saying Kofi has to get flawless victories or anything like that, but considering what happened between Kofi and Brock, Lashley is being booked like Brock Lesnar. In fact, he's in some ways being booked slightly stronger than Brock Lesnar. Because we've seen Lesnar lose to people like a Seth and people like that, But Bobby Lashley, outside of like a banana pill loss here lately, he does not lose to these type of people. So it's like, on paper, what chance does Kofi even have? I see Kofi fighting Brock more than I see Kofi fighting Lashley. I mean, Brock has lost to Seth Rollins clean twice. Seth Rollins and Kofi Kingston are about the same size. So, people like Finn Balor and stuff like that, those guys have given Brock Lesnar, a run for his money. AJ Styles, they've given Brock a run for his money. So I can see Kofi doing that against Brock because it's happened. It's happened all the time with Lesnar. Whereas Lashley right now, no one at that type of character has even given Lashley any real problem per se. I mean, look at Matt Riddle. Matt Riddle basically squashed, and he's basically the same as Kofi Kingston. Yeah. And he was squashed by Lashley after WrestleMania, and before then he was getting destroyed by Lashley every week. Yeah. So it's like, what am I watching here with Kofi? What makes you think I'm supposed to believe that Kofi Kingston now, with how current Lashley is, has a chance in full health? He doesn't. It should be going there, spine buster from Lashley, hurt lock, done. And that's WWE's fault.
What about these Hell in a Cell predictions?
Oh my god.
Start with the first match. Speaking of Bobby Lashley versus Drew McIntyre, who you guys got? I mean, obviously.
I'm realistic.
Lost Monday.
Yeah.
Drew stood tall. So wrestling logic says Lashley.
Mm-hmm.
But there's no baby faces. The thing is, they're doing something with Kofi. They're not doing shit with Drew. Drew stood tall. So I guess I gotta go Lashley.
Yeah, it's gonna be fucking it's gonna be Lashley, bro. Realistically, it's just gonna be fucking Lashley.
The next one you have is what's her name? Rhea and Charlotte.
That's the hardest match to call because they're both losers.
Look, the feud and how this match started. Don't get me started on why this is even a match that was allowed from Vince McMahon to go, yep, let's put this match on. This match that literally has no reason to be on right now. This match.
Is Rhea a babyface or a heel?
heel.
She's supposed to be.
Or she's tweener. Which is
Essentially, yeah.
So
tweener.
Yeah. So essentially, Vince was like, "Let's make this match. Let's book it. Let's book the match again. Let's have." I feel like Rhea Ripley's going to get a revenge because what happened last time. But I honestly should feel like this match is beyond pointless.
I'll play this. Rhea beats Charlotte. Charlotte wins Money in the Bank. Cashes in on Ripley. There you go.
I'll put this out there because I forgot to. The Lashley match is Hell in a Cell.
Lashley won.
Ripley is a regular. Then the third match would be Bianca Bailey, Hell in a Cell.
Bianca.
So it's a last chance Hell in a Cell for Drew McIntyre, by the way. So he gets no more chances.
But Drew's still tall. Wrestling logic says Lashley.
Yeah, it's gonna be Lashley, but literally after this, there should be no more, and I mean this, no more Bobby Lashley versus Wicked Once Ago matches.
That's what they claim. That's what they claim. So then we all think Bianca's gonna win. Pretty straightforward.
Yeah, so Bianca Sasha too.
Then you have Alexa and Shayna, which I guess no one cares about because I don't care.
Alexa.
No one really fucking cared about that match, and it just so happened out of the blue. It was like, why is this even a thing?
We're getting milked again. Pause. You got Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn for some reason.
I'd rather have that than nothing.
Then you got Rollins, Cesaro, and I think that's a whole card.
That's actually a hard one because Seth's already lost twice. Cesaro's still tall tonight. Wrestling logic says Seth, but
to be completely honest, why
you need
is this
people
match?
for Roman? Say what?
Why is this? It was just one of those situations. It's like, why did we need these two people to still fight?
Who, Seth and Cesaro?
Yes.
Well, Seth is bitter. The last match they had was a fuck finish. Cesaro won, but it was still a fuck finish. This match should have been Hell in a Cell, to be honest with you. The fact that it's a normal match doesn't make any fucking sense, but
yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with that.
It's you've had two matches between them. Cesaro won at Mania. Cesaro beat Seth on SmackDown in a fuck finish because of Jimmy Uso. Seth brutally attacks Cesaro.
After the match with what's his name?
After Hell in a Cell.
Yeah.
I mean, you would think Seth would win.
Yeah.
But the problem is, I guess the real question is, do we go back to Cesaro and Roman? Or do we just throw Cesaro in Money in the Bank along with Seth Rollins in Money in the Bank match and just leave Roman either off the card or feuding with someone random? It depends. If they are continuing Cesaro and Roman, since Cesaro did challenge Roman again,
yeah,
then Cesaro's gotta win for a third time straight.
But then again, WWE did have Buddy. What's the fuck is his name? What's his name? Lose 3 times to Buddy Murphy. Lose 3 times to Aleister Black. Clean.
That's Aleister Black.
That shit was sad.
And that's Buddy Murphy. And there was no story behind it. They were just fighting.
No, he knocked on his door, if you can recall.
Well, who cares? That door shit was retarded. But, the Seth, it's just, like I said, it depends. If they're going back to Cesaro and Roman, Cesaro has to win.
Yeah.
If they're not going back to Cesaro and Roman, then just judging by tonight with Cesaro standing tall for the second week straight.
Yeah.
Logic says Seth will probably win by cheating. Maybe like a low blow into a curb stomp or some type of shit like that. Since Seth has already lost twice, you gotta keep. Granted, Seth can lose and still be fine, but he has to win something. And it's not like he wrestles every week anymore, so the man hasn't wrestled in like a month.
Who?
Seth.
Oh shit.
He hasn't wrestled since he lost his all on SmackDown.
I just
I don't know
realized
if anyone's
shit.
noticed that.
No.
Yes.
I just realized
The
that.
one thing he actually does best, they haven't let him done. He hasn't been able, he hasn't done it.
I just realized that shit. You just pointed that out.
Yep. He has not wrestled since he lost on SmackDown to Cesaro.
Wow. That's like how long has that been?
It's been almost a month, if not more, if not a little bit less, or at a month at this point.
True.
That's just how it's been. With Seth, he comes out. Now he just comes out and do these stupid vignettes.
We did put him with Bailey, and
Seth.
yeah, people like that reaction.
Yeah, because
I was thinking we might get a mixed tag team
No, it's just no.
match. We might.
Put that man by himself.
No, I mean we might if they continue this feud, but they should listen. The Seth, let's not make the same mistake that we did with Seth and Mysterio. The Seth thing with Cesaro, I'm fine with it now. It gives them 2 pay-per-view matches. There hasn't been a lot of matches between Cesaro and Seth. There's been, the tag team match or whatever, this and that. There's been the single match at WrestleMania and the single match on SmackDown. There haven't been a lot of matches with each other. I am fine with one more match. I don't care who wins. But once this match happens, it's Hell in a Cell. It's over. Move on. I do not want to see these two in another match for quite some time.
Who?
Cesaro and Rollins.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be boring as shit.
Let's not make the same. Listen, like I said, I am fine with how it is now. There's been a lot of attacking on the outside. Attacking after the Roman match and this and that and the other. Great. It should have been a Hell in a Cell. But if this is it, they're going to do the match, fine. This needs to be it. I do not want to see a fucking 7-month feud against Cesaro because of reasons.
You mean like the Mysterios? You don't want the Mysterios
Yes.
Part 2, son? Come on,
No.
man. You know that was great.
No, it wasn't.
So that was hot. I was hot fire to see him fight against the Mysterios constantly, and then even he
It
got
was
mad.
dumb. None of it made sense.
Even he got mad that he had to fight the Mysterios again. He was so
An
mad.
eye for an eye and all this other shit,
That match was stupid, and everyone knows it.
which doesn't make any sense because Rey Mysterio still blames Seth for that. And it's like, but you are the one who made the match. I mean,
Yeah.
nothing makes sense. That match to this day, that promo, Seth, for what you did to Matt, hey, and they family. It's like, but you asked for the match.
That
Not
was
Seth.
just unnecessarily racist. I'm not gonna lie to you. It was also really funny.
It's terrible. Damn it, Terrell. Excuse me.
What?
My family.
Yeah, an eye for an eye match that I asked for.
Well,
Exactly. Nothing made sense.
everything for wrestling.
Oh, also, speaking of Hell in a Cell, Roman Reigns is going to be facing Dominic instead of Ray.
Did they just do that? Is that a thing that they just did?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, so it's going to be Dominic versus...
Wait, in the pay-per-view?
yeah.
Why would they do? I can't believe they've done
Who
this.
gives a shit? Why is that even happening?
I can't believe they've done this.
This is fucking stupid. So now the match is going to be super obvious. By the way, everybody who doesn't know who's going to win this match needs a little mental help. If you don't know who's going to win this fucking match, like legit. Come on, guys.
I don't know. I think Dominic's going to pull off the win here, man.
Yeah,
I don't see no Dominic versus Roman main match.
I literally pulled it up on Wikipedia. It is the match.
Not the Wikipedias.
Yep.
I'm on WWE's YouTube channel. I don't see shit. I mean, that YouTube channel. Twitter or whatever this is.
Good time.
Yep, that's literally what it says.
Oh, man.
I don't see shit. You know, it damn sure would have been on the Twitter.
That's what it literally says on the what's it called?
You know what I'm saying? It would have said that on the Twitter if it was announced. I don't see anything announced here.
That's weird.
Maybe someone's trolling, because that's a troll match, because why the fuck would Dominic... First of all, Dominic shouldn't even be wrestling in 3 days. This man got thrown from a fucking ring on his back, powerbomb style. He should be back no time soon.
Gotta love it. Gotta love it, no Booker T, though.
You said what happened?
Oh no, I could be wrong.
Okay. Well, is there anything else anybody want to bring up about wrestling besides the fact that, Hell in a Cell is probably going to be fucking garbage fire. A garbage fire. Legit.
Doodle.
Garbage.
No, I have nothing else.
Ooh.
Oh! Jimmy Smith, Kofi come Kingston? They ain't want to see that shit.
What?
Huh?
So, the Raw announcer, Jimmy Smith, he, when Kofi, I don't know what was after the match or some shit, something doing with Kofi, he made an error and he said, Kofi come Kingston.
Oh, okay.
Amazing. Top tier performance.
Top tier.
This is why we got rid of Samoa Joe.
Hey man, he's on NXT now. And better ring.
I hear they're trying to get motherfucker.
Alright, so I guess we can talk about the gaming. Give me just a second.
My body hurts. My brain hurts.
Oh shit. Wait, can I download Darkness and Daggers?
I'll be right back.
I have no idea what you just said.
God damn it. Wait. Well, let me download the see if I can get into the game. Xbox Game Pass. It is a beautiful thing right
Okay.
Not the Xbox.
I am here. So now we can talk about the 3 of the E.
now. Oh my god. Do I have a rank for that shit?
Oh.
Sony's the greatest company of all time, bro.
What is it? Ubi Boar, Gear Trash, and Embarrass Enix.
Okay.
Ball.
Alright. Where do we begin? Lord, we can begin with that stupid summer joint. Yo.
Who wants to play Dungeons and Dragons with me?
Yeah, I'm not playing that. That game looks janky as hell.
But why don't you play it when it's free?
It's free?
On the Xbox. I mean, first of all, it's coming to Game Pass day one, number one. But number two, it's on the Xbox Insider, which I'm downloading now. So, why would you?
Why would I buy that game? Thank you.
Who said anything about buying it?
No. I'm saying
Insider
thank
for
you.
free.
I'm saying thank you for pointing that out.
I wasn't buying this game. Somebody download it.
Thank you for literally helping me out with that.
Game Pass is getting everything. Like my Xbox is about to be fucking. I'm not gonna buy a hard drive because everything's coming to Xbox. Like everything's just Game Pass.
Woo! So you said that. That's amazing.
Anvil Breakers? What the fuck is this? A top-down sci-fi roleplay. Interesting. I'm sorry.
But yeah, all right. But legit, what am I saying here? So that little stupid what was it called? Summerfest? That was dumb. I'm sorry. Summerfest was fucking dumb. And I can't believe that came on, and the first thing that got me off guard was the fact that they said, "Oh, here's a director's cut version of what's the UPS simulator game again?
Death Stranding."
So why is it a director's cut when he had 100% control over the game?
Listen, they just wanted to get fancy with what it was called. They just didn't want to call it Death Stranding. Whatever.
Origami 2's on Game Pass? What the fuck?
It's already out?
I can pre-download it. Wow, pre-installed for a September 16th game. But it's coming to Game Pass, so I know what I'll be playing. What?
I'm buying that.
You're making me not want to buy games anymore.
I'm buying that, I'm sorry. I'm buying it on my PlayStation.
I don't care where I play this game, man.
Cosplay.
PlayStation, Xbox, it means nothing to me. They're the same fucking console. They're both fucking paperweights right now.
Damn, son.
Oh man, Ratchet & Clank was fun.
Yeah, that's one game, and it's already, and you beat it in like 8 hours. Then it's back, and then it goes.
I did beat
right
the
to
game, yes.
Wow.
It goes right into the vault.
Well, that was fun.
Again, you beat it. It's in the vault, and that's it.
But you can say that about any game.
Yeah, but these games, but it's not a massive amount of games. Is what I'm saying. Like, you really, your PlayStation 5 is still going to be, it's mainly going to be used for PS4 games.
That is fair.
Both consoles are the same, though. That's why I said, well, I'm not shitting on PlayStation. I said both consoles are paperweights, because it's just that at the end of the year, Xbox is going to have slightly an advantage because of all this shit coming to Game Pass. I don't have to buy it.
Yeah, it's kind of what I said. I'm like, Xbox is in there for the long haul, and PlayStation needs something. They need like another company to say, hey, we got their exclusives now, because Xbox.
It's not even that. It's not even exclusives. Like Dark Alliance is an exclusive back, but it's the fact that like the only way I would buy. Okay, I'll use Back 4 Blood for example, right?
Mm-hmm.
I know we're off topic, but we are in the gaming podcast. So there's two many Left 4 Dead games coming out in general. Way too many types. Tired of it. But I've said before I wasn't buying Back 4 Blood, right?
Yeah.
It's on Game Pass. I now have a reason to at least try it. If I enjoyed the game that much, and people were on PlayStation, that would be the only way I would consider buying it on PlayStation. You know, it's like the only reason I have to buy things that's on Game Pass right now. The only reason why I would even consider buying any shit on PlayStation is if I'm playing with friends or it's not on Game Pass. Because it logistically doesn't make sense. If I'm paying for something, $14.99 a month, or whatever the fuck it is, I might as well use the service. So, like, Back 4 Blood, Forza, Origami, Dark Alliance. I mean, Origami has co-op. So that would maybe be a reason for me to play, but that was like a fucking idiot buying it on the console I can just download for free.
I mean, this is crossplay. If it's not crossplay,
it's not crossplay. It's just for me. I look at it like, okay, I have Origami here on PlayStation, and I have it here on Xbox. I can spend, I don't know how much. What was Origami called? Maybe about, let's say $30 tops. I can spend $30 for a PlayStation version, where I may or may not play with Wild Fang or Spirit. Or I can just download the Xbox One version for free, because I'm paying for the service, and still have the same experience. For me, because I'm mainly a solo gamer, it just logistically doesn't make sense for me to buy everything on, like, PlayStation. I'm telling you, Tales of Arise, what else? Final Fantasy 14 and Walker, because I don't have a choice, and just one other game. Oh, and The World Ends With You. That's about it for PlayStation. Scarlet Nexus, I'm debating on that.
I'm game for Scarlet Nexus. There's no point.
Well, the thing with Scarlet Nexus with me is that I know it's the Xbox's the lead development console. It's the advertising console. So if they got the demo first, I'm assuming they'll get other things first. With Scarlet Nexus, I'm just assuming that.
Yeah.
So it's like, on one hand, I want to get for Xbox. But I'm looking at all these games. Dark Alliance, which comes out the same week. Origami, all these games back for butt. It's like, damn, my PlayStation origin's not going to have any love. So I couldn't just buy Scarlet Nexus for PlayStation. It doesn't really bother me.
Yeah.
But it's just, I'm trying to have everything be even. But Game Pass is just like, it makes me not care to buy anything on PlayStation. Scarlet Nexus is not on Game Pass, so I have to buy it regardless. But
yeah,
it's just
agree because
I just can't. My brain just won't process the fact that this is on Game Pass. I'll buy it for PlayStation even though it's on Game Pass, unless I'm playing co-op with you guys on a consistent basis, or it's like a MMO where we're all playing it. Then of course I'll buy it for PlayStation. That's where the friends are.
I agree.
I just can't feasibly just say, I'm just gonna buy and play this when the game is like in my face, free. Especially since I'm more of I no one plays video games with me here, so it's either I'm either playing online or I'm playing solo.
Yeah, that's literally what changed my mind for Back of Blood. I saw it was coming out Game Pass day one, and I was like, well, I'm not buying the game anymore. I was going to go to purchase it, but then I was like, oh.
Yeah, that's one of those situations. But then again, did they announce that's crossplay?
It's not crossplay.
I think
your situation is different, though, because you're going to play with Spirit. She doesn't own an Xbox.
Yeah, I
don't own the PlayStation. Your situation is different.
Yeah, I don't.
That's why I say it's solo gaming.
That's why I said.
Pretty sure it is crossplay though.
No, it's not. It's not.
Which one?
It's crossplay between PS4 and PS5.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, flawless frequent. And Xbox and Xbox One, but I don't think it's crossplay between PlayStation and. Which needs to be a thing at this point. Every game should do it. I don't know why we don't do this at this point.
Yeah. So
we did that, then Sony would be on the ground.
I don't understand what that means. Can you explain that?
What?
If Sony did the crossplay, because I've heard if Sony did it, it would be be
because of Game Pass. If every game is now crossplay. And one platform has Game Pass where you can get most of the multi-platform games day one.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's the thing. It's already happening. A lot of people are just saying, "Shit, I'll just buy me an Xbox Series S and call it a fucking day." A lot of people are doing that now.
That's why Sony's doing what they're doing, and they're trying to get some of these games to not be crossplay. Because if they're all crossplay, then Game Pass is going to take over, and no one.
Game Pass is already going to take over.
It is, but it's not going to be as bad if every game's not crossplay.
Right.
Because then there's people like Spirit and Wild Thing where they have to get PS5 because they're on PlayStation. Oh, I have to get it on PlayStation. But if every game's crossplay, suddenly, Back 4 Blood, for example, Wild Thing don't got to pay for that, and he can still play with Spirit. So then it become a point of what does it? What
how many people are gonna then? Because I don't know. It's weird. I agree with your take on that. It's just at this point, it's like, and this isn't me sucking Xbox cock. Xbox still has a lot of work to do, but it's like this Game Pass situation. It's one thing for like how it is, getting older games and stuff like that, or maybe the occasional like Outriders, right?
Mm-hmm.
The occasional AAA, cross game where everything's going to be, or Xbox exclusive be day one. That's one thing, but you got games like Dark Alliance, which, for someone who's skeptical, that just makes it even better.
Yeah.
Because you can download the game for free on a service you're paying for, and you're not wasting your time. Because if it sucks, you just go over, hit uninstall, and you didn't spend any money on it.
Pretty much.
That's fair. And I'm not necessarily saying like, oh, I don't want every game to be crossplay. I'm just saying that's how Sony's looking at it.
Yeah,
because that's how they're looking at it. That's why we're not going to get what we want.
Yeah. I agree. Sony at this point is a lot of people praise Sony, which there's a lot of things to praise them for, but the problem is Sony is looking at like now, and like you said earlier, Xbox is kind of working the long game.
Yeah, they're working the long game.
Xbox is making it to where you don't even need a console anymore. I'm sure y'all heard of that with the cloud service going to TVs.
Yeah, I think that's the problem.
The older Xbox consoles will be able to play the Xbox Series games through cloud.
Hell, I actually just went on and I just pre-downloaded Dark Alliance just now, and at the end of the day, it's pretty.
I'm going to play this Xbox Insiders version first before I even do that.
That's the issue, though, because that's the main. So, from a business standpoint, Sony's doing the only thing they can do, and since Microsoft is basically their whole goal is to change the industry, essentially, right? Change how it works, and they can, and they will. They are. It's inevitable because everyone's going to follow suit now. Everybody's going to have their own Game Pass in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, because Netflix, and it makes sense. Yeah. Netflix is one of the most successful things in the entire world. Yeah. Why not do a game? Why not make a gaming version of that? You may not. Now, you're not going to get every game on there. Like Netflix doesn't get every movie.
Mm-hmm.
And people say, "Well, Xbox lose money." Xbox can afford to lose money. They're Microsoft. Who doesn't own Microsoft products in their house?
Yeah, that'd be a lie if you say I don't.
Yeah, I was like, all right, so you just got straight Apple devices.
It's bullshit. At some point in time, you spent money on a Microsoft device, so it doesn't matter if you have one like now or not. You spent money on one, so it's at the point now where it's like Xbox has way more money than PlayStation. They can afford to do something like this.
Yeah, and all of it makes Sony look bad. All of this makes Sony look bad, look greedy. But what it really is, what it comes down to, is the fact that it's not Microsoft's intent, I don't think, but Microsoft is trying to change things, and it's throwing a wrench in Sony's game because Microsoft's plan is actually good.
Phil Spencer is, from what I understand, from what I get with him, he's trying to essentially he's trying to in a way end the so-called console wars.
Yeah.
To where he wants to bring everyone together.
Yeah.
And we said this before, or at least I said it before in one of our episodes of the gaming one, where Sony is like, both consoles have different goals, or both companies.
Mm-hmm.
Xbox is looking to bring people together with Game Pass or cross-play with PC and stuff of that nature. Where Sony is trying to bring in people by saying, look at us. We have these games only exclusive to PlayStation. So PlayStation is where you want to be. Because only these games come on PlayStation, and these are critically acclaimed games.
Yeah.
And
it's a great business move. It's a great it's not bad look. It's a great way to get you in.
Yeah,
but
they're not necessarily wrong by saying it.
Yeah, they're not wrong. They're not wrong at all. But you have to also look at the way gaming is, the way how media is now. Look at Netflix, Hulu. All these are streaming services.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They make more money than people buying Blu-rays because you're constantly paying it a month. If we look at our bank account, see how much we pay for the shit, but we'll probably shake our heads and say, "Why are we doing this?"
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I know I am.
Is playing the Now game. Yeah, they have the PlayStation Now, but that PlayStation Now, no one cares about it.
Yeah, because it's not like a game.
They don't advertise it. Once again, they don't. They don't advertise it. Now there are some games you can download But do they ever advertise it? No. That shit, PlayStation Now is all at the end, is all the way at the end of the X and B screen, if at all.
Yeah.
Whereas Game Pass is literally like
the first thing you see.
The first thing you'll see on your, if you use it enough. The first thing you'll see on your Xbox.
Yeah.
Their whole conference was Game Pass. Nothing else mattered. No.
It's surprising to me though, because I'm a college student, and I had a lot of roommates that were Xbox people, and I had to explain what Game Pass was to them. So that, not everyone's hip to Xbox Game Pass yet, but when everybody becomes like,
they didn't do a good job of advertising it either. Honestly, if you want to be technical, they don't really do. Outliers was like the real like, look at me.
Yeah.
Before then, now they had some good. I mean, they have good games like Monster Hunter and stuff, but they weren't day one. They were like months later.
Yeah.
Outliers was a critically anticipated game by most, though it failed in the long run, as always, as I predicted it would.
Funny.
But it was a critically acclaimed. It was a critically, game that people wanted for playing the demo. Microsoft, some kind of way, got them to put that on Game Pass day one. That's where it starts. It starts with Outriders. After that, now everyone's looking to see what comes on Game Pass. Because Outriders was not even an Xbox exclusive, and it was a AAA title on all consoles, and it got the Game Pass.
You gotta add other things outside of games too, because Game Pass has deals with Spotify, they got deals with Disney Plus, they got deals with Hulu, So I think they're also drawing people in that way, because Game Pass has deals with Spotify, they got deals with Disney Plus, they got deals with Hulu, So I think they're also drawing people in that way, because Game Pass has deals with Spotify, they got deals with Disney Plus, they got deals with Hulu, So I think they're also drawing people in that way, because Game Pass has deals with Spotify, they got deals with Disney Plus.
Because it was more like really like Netflix, Netflix really don't pushes out what movies come on Netflix like that unless it's something like critically acclaimed that you're gonna want to see day one. Same with Xbox Game Pass. They'll say, "Hey, look at this." 6 months later, Monster Hunter's coming to Game Pass, but they ain't gonna push it now.
It was a gamble though, I think, partially. That's why they didn't push it, because it was a big gamble. They know how much money they'd lose, but they just wanted to see if the service would gain any traction, which it did. As soon as they announced the PC, I think that's when it really started to gain traction, because a lot of people started to look at it like, oh man, well, I can get a bunch of PC games for free with Xbox
Game Pass Ultimate.
Exactly, which is what I have, and I'm like,
I have it too. $14.99 a month for Xbox Live and Game Pass. I mean, it's a lot. It'll add up to a lot of money, but I mean, you're getting $30, $70 games just right there. It's if they put every game on there, WildPlay wouldn't need GameFly.
Yeah.
If they put every game on GameFly, like just every game on there,
every
wouldn't need GameFly anymore.
I wouldn't even have GameFly.
My
Xbox will get more love, but at the end of the day, because they don't. And because I still do love my PlayStation, that's the only reason. Like right now, I could just not care about GameFly and Scarlet Nexus, but I'm gonna go ahead because I just would like to play it on my PlayStation. And the reason I'm GameFlying fucking Back for Blood on my PlayStation so I can play with Spirit, because I could do it, and it just feel like it'd be a dick move for her. She'd be like, "Oh, for real?"
Honestly, and I'm gonna be honest. Series S's all about to fly.
Yeah,
I mean, they're all the systems are flying, but whereas it was kind of easy to get an Xbox, and it may still be easy to get the X, or easier to get an X. The S is about to fall for sure. I already have people telling me, man, shit. I might just a person who didn't, one of my friends at work had no interest in buying an Xbox. I was joking when I said that, like, man, come on, man, you got a Xbox Game Pass. He said, I might. I'm like, goddamn, you for real? Because it's like,
It's too hard to pass up, which is why I got
Exactly,
my
especially for games like Dark Alliance. This is a game we know nothing about except for
It looked
what we've
janky
seen.
as fuck.
This game could be trash.
It's probably going to be. Yeah.
And instead of Wildfang and me going to a store, like, alright, we're going to play this and we can stream it on a channel as co-op or whatever the case may be, and pay $30 or $60 or whatever the case may
I
be.
almost paid for it until I saw some gameplay. It was like, ugh.
And then it's like, okay, I have my, it's 30. First of all, I was going to buy it because, like, okay, it's 30, it's what, $40? It's like, if you buy it, you're not losing too much, considering how much games are now. And then you hear it's for Game Pass, it's like, well, or the Xbox Insider, which I'm downloading that version right now.
I'm doing
It's
it
like,
well.
It's like, shit, why would I spend $30 for this when I can just download the game for free?
And then try it out, and if it's trash, I know it's trash.
Yeah. Now, eventually, if you get a bunch of friends on PlayStation that want to play it, you can maybe decide to buy it on PlayStation. I don't know what, but you have the opportunity to play it now, And then even if you like it long term, once a game leaves Game Pass, you can't play it anymore. I mean, shit, you buy it while it's on Game Pass, don't you get a discount? So it's like,
yeah. But
you
also,
get a discount. You get a discount for owning a game for free. It's like, you can't pass it up.
if you have the game downloaded, it doesn't matter if it leaves Game Pass, you can still play it.
So if you have it downloaded, it will still be able to play?
Yeah.
I thought if you have it downloaded and it's gone.
No, because I had Resident Evil 4 and they took it off and I was still able to play.
Well, that's not the same case with Ninja Gaiden Black, because I was playing Ninja Gaiden Black and then it left, and then yeah.
I don't know how it works.
I thought that's what I heard. I mean, Either way, I mean, I doubt there's any game. I mean, the games on Game Pass stay on for like fucking ever anyway. I mean, isn't like Outrider still on Game Pass?
Yeah, but it's a dead game.
So it's like
that off soon.
If I really want it, but it's like if you want to buy it, I believe you do get the discount.
Yes, you do.
Like a 10%, 5% discount on some shit. But it's like right there alone. It's like you try a game for free. If you're playing it 2 years down the line, you see it's about to leave for Game Pass, like, let me buy this before it leaves, you get a discount. Mm-hmm. Or by that time, it'll be on sale. A Black Friday, perhaps. And it's like, it's almost a can't lose.
Yeah.
Which is why I can see some people saying why Xbox One either. I can see the argument. I can see it.
So
I don't think so.
Nintendo.
I still think it was Nintendo.
It was definitely Nintendo.
But I can see the art, because Xbox shows you a lot of diversity in their exclusives that's coming.
Well, thing, we can barely hear you, by the way.
I'm not near my mic. Give me a second.
And I can see the argument. But we pretty much talked about the Xbox conference pretty much as a whole, so we don't need to talk about that now.
But the Xbox conference, it was a solid A. A lot of people, including Jamal, didn't like it, and I understood why. But in my perspective, and I'm going to be really honest with you, this is because Bethesda was there. It genuinely did not increase it for me. So if I was to be honest, I was thoroughly bored. And it was like, okay, I was never getting Deathloop. I was never getting Starfield because, the game looks fucking boring.
I think you're out of you're out of your mind for not getting Deathloop, at least.
Listen to me.
You're out of your mind.
Listen to me. I cannot, and I'm not going to, buy and play every fucking game. So, for that reason, it's fine. That's why when you did the Resident Evil 8 review, you literally took a load off of my back.
Yeah, I might do Ratchet and Clank too.
Spirit's doing Ratchet and Clank. Oh. If she doesn't do it in a timely fashion, then you will. Jesus.
No, never mind.
Yeah. So yeah, that's why the Game Pass is a godsend. GameFly is also a godsend for me. They are both godsend fucking companies to me. I don't have to buy everything. I can GameFly and or Game Pass certain games. Like I GameFly'd Returnal. Thank God I did.
Look at those fair. Where did she go?
She was knocked out.
Why do you say thank God you did?
You said what?
Why do you say thank God you did? You didn't want to buy Returnal? You didn't want to support Sony small studios?
Originally, no. I did not want to buy Returnal. And then I played Returnal. And now, later on the line, when I give it back, I'm going to buy Returnal. You see how that works?
No, it's blessed. It's blessed.
So, or I can just, cause GameFly, you could just buy the game at a discount now that you have it. If you've had it from 4 weeks, you get it at a discount, regardless.
Oh, that's cheating. You cheated, bro.
Hey man, Game Pass are the same shit.
So at the end of the day,
Game Pass is also cheating.
that's why both of these companies, or both of their shit, literally for me and us as a channel, fucking helps.
That's fair.
Also, if you want, you could do the review for Returnal.
Yeah, that's all you meant.
No.
Pokemon finished.
Anywho, speaking of, moving on, let's talk about Ubisoft conference for a second, because we went on that long tangent / rant.
How about no?
Oh, the true rant has yet to come. That was constructive conversation. The rant.
Please no.
Chaos.
Okay, first of all, as you guys, I don't know if everybody saw the video E3 in a nutshell that I created. You know, it took me up until 4 o'clock. It was hot as shit because of what I was wearing in that video. But you know, Ubisoft was literally, I don't know what they were smoking, but can someone pass that cocaine to me, please?
Hey man, no, it's not good for you. Don't do drugs, kids.
Bro, the person at Ubisoft said, and I quote, "Yo, at the Electronic Gaming Expo, let's show off our TV show." Let's show off TV shows and DLC, and then Raving Rabbits, and then yeah, because
I don't know. I don't see a problem. I don't see the problem. What's the problem,
bro?
Boring.
I remember another conference that did that a long time ago, and they showed off a bunch of TV shows, and
when it single-handedly lost that company a whole entire generation.
Exactly. Oh man, I remember that one. Where they lost it. They lost a whole generation, and then pretends like, you know, it was successful, and then changed up the whole business strategy because they realized that if they continued on the nonsense that they were going on, they were going to lose regardless. Hence why PlayStation, oh no, my bad, it wasn't PlayStation, I think it was called Station Play, literally came in this with rocket boots on for some fucking reason. Rocket boots. They literally started off with fucking rocket boots for the PlayStation. Oh, Station Play 5. They were on fucking rocket boots.
Station Play 5. That's the bootleg version. That's beyond bootleg.
All over the fucking screen.
That's the pawn shop. That's the pawn shop version.
Yeah, man. Station Play 5, bro.
Nah, that's the Wish.com version.
Jesus Christ, I hate Wish so much.
That's the Alibaba.
Anywho, that was a lot of HP. Yeah, so, you know, bacon bits. Ubisoft was literally, I'm not gonna lie, bro. Ubisoft, it almost to me had the worst conference until other conferences came on. But for Ubisoft, I literally said that shit was just what's the proper word to add here without being a dickhead about it?
Boring?
No, that's not the word. It's a
waste of time?
Yes, a waste of time, but without the negative words I was going to look for, you know, because there were a bunch of negative words I would have put in between a waste of time, you know what I mean? But yes, it was a theoretical waste of time. and they should be ashamed of themselves for wasting everyone's time like they did.
You don't sound too happy about that, man.
What about how Ubisoft literally took it? I'm at work and I'm like, yo, yay, Ubisoft's about to start. Let's see what Ubisoft does. Oh, nothing.
See, but people ask me why I didn't watch the Ubisoft. I don't like Ubisoft.
I don't either. And especially considering that they're continuing with their rape and racism and all that shit that's going on in their company. I'm no longer supporting their games. Like, I'm not buying shit. I'm sorry.
You know, for me, it's just like hey guys, we're gonna make the exact same game over and over. And before people start in the comments, I know Sony's games are similar, but listen, there's a difference.
Wait, Sony's games are similar?
Some Sony games are similar.
Name two.
Yes. Days Gone, Last of Us.
Okay, those are yes. Okay, name another set of games that are similar besides the zombie games.
Listen.
And even then, they're still not that similar. They're only similar in terms of concept.
I normally argue on the same line as you, but I just wanted to. You made me lose my train.
Bro, literally.
I was just saying that just because it's something people say, even though it's not true.
Dumb.
It's not true at all.
Oh man, all of Sony's games are the same. Name two. God of War and Horizon is the same. But how though?
People like to say they're the same because Sony likes all of their games to be focused on story, which isn't a bad thing. It's kind of the reason why PlayStation fans are PlayStation fans. That's what they want. Now, what I feel Sony's problem is, this is a whole tangent, but I feel like they need to get some multiplayer games in the belt.
They need to what?
Get some multiplayer games under the belt, because Sony don't have that. They don't have that.
Yeah, nah, I'm that. But
if they had Destiny, unfortunately, they don't. If they did, which it should have been exclusive from day one, it would have been fire. It would have made sense.
I mean, I get you, and I understand where you're coming from with that logic, but what Sony needs to do is they need to think and start, I don't know, obtaining some fucking companies.
They have in the background small companies. So that's another thing, a reason to like Sony. They invest in the small companies.
Yeah, like
and they like to give them
Punch.
Chances. Yeah. They give them chances, and then it always works out for them because the companies they pick, under the Sony brand, normally make fire. For some reason,
they make Beyond Fire, my guy.
Sony brand stuff was just beyond good.
Yes, and I find it hilarious that people don't like that. But then you got people that like it, and again, and I understand why people don't like it. But at the end of the day, if you don't want to play a single player game, no one is literally holding a gun to your head saying, "Play this single player game, suck a punk bitch."
Which for me, that's why I got the Xbox, because I've noticed that Xbox has all the multiplayer. You'd be a fool not to notice Xbox has all the multiplayer stuff.
That's been like that since day one. Though.
That's been like that for years.
That's what I'm interested in, because that's why I've been watching Xbox. So, I'm like, they acquired all these studios, so not only are they going to have the multiplayer things, but they're going to have some single player stuff pretty soon. And sure enough, I was right. They have some good single player mixed in there, and then I'm ready for it.
True, but for me, like I said, I'm an RPG player, so half the games I do like to play, they are single player anyway. So it's fine for me to play a single player game. That's why I like my Switch. I like my fucking everything. So I don't get the complaint too much, but at the same time, I understand where people are coming from. But then again, I say the same things every time. Then why do you have a PlayStation if you wanted to play straight multiplayer games or because like Call of Duty?
You got to understand the most people that are like that. It's just the same reason. Why do you have an iPhone? Well, so and so says the best phone, so that's the general popular opinion. So that's what I'm gonna get.
Yeah, but they're exclusive for single player. Okay, their exclusives are single player. They're great.
Yeah, why do you have a PlayStation if you don't play the exclusives? A lot of people actually, if they are one of those sports people, they still end up playing Sony exclusives, which is surprising to me.
Yeah.
Like, I have friends that are sports people, and they love, like, Sony's. Like, one of them is, like, enjoying Ratchet and Clank, because he's game sharing, and he's like, oh my god, this is, like, one of the greatest games I've ever played.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, yeah. You know?
It's a fire game.
It's a good game. It's a nice, short, and sweet little, you know what I'm saying? And
Yeah,
it feels good to play.
Yeah, it's a good game. And that's why I can trust Insomniac. I can trust Sucker Punch.
Insomniac and Sucker Punch probably are my favorite two Sony developers.
Facts.
Yes.
Ghost of Tsushima and Ratchet and Clank, bro. Come on. They did not fail. Neither of them failed.
You could, and you gotta think about Spider-Man too. The fact that they came off the hot tail of Miles Morales, because Miles Morales was good, let's just show it. They came off that, and then they dropped Ratchet and Clank months later. Insomniac is carrying Sony right now. Low key.
And Sucker Punch.
And Sucker Punch released Ghost, but you know, after that,
Ghost literally brought them over the edge, bro.
It did. Whatever Sucker Punch does next, I'm gonna buy it, no matter what.
Yeah, period. Okay. And I gotta platinum it again.
It doesn't matter.
Moving on. The next fucking conference we're gonna talk about is it's a good one. It was what's the name of that fucking Devolver Digital?
Oh, I thought you actually meant it was a good one. I thought we were talking about Nintendo.
It was a good one. It was Devolver Digital.
Are you sure?
Devolver. Did you watch Devolver Digital's conference?
I didn't.
They make fun of every other company in their conference every single fucking time, and it's the funniest goddamn thing you'll ever see in your life. Every single time they make fun of the companies, they talk about super ultimate Game Pass type of shit every time, and it always ends up with blood and shit happening, and, you know, drugs and cocaine. It's stupid funny every time. Like literally, and they had a Marvel Cinematic Universe joke in this joint, and the joint was funny as hell. Yeah. He's like, it could be like our own commercial cinematic universe, and the dude was like, "You shut your damn mouth." This shit was stupid. But yes, okay. Moving on from that. Let's talk about Square's. Let's talk about Square's conference.
Honestly, I think Square might have the most, the biggest upset, the biggest letdown.
They have the biggest letdown. Was it you know what?
I feel
letdown,
like
yeah.
That's true, because a lot of people were hoping for Final Fantasy. They're hoping, Square had a lot of things that people wanted to see.
Yeah.
And
these idiots decided, in their infinite wisdom, to show off a lot of nothing. They changed up. What was the name of that game? Beyond Fall or something like that. The best.
Yeah, like I said, rants.
Okay. We'll get to you. We'll get to you in a second, buddy. They fucking showed off the one thing that they showed off that actually had me go, "Ooh, I'm going to buy that." Was the fucking Guardians of the Galaxy game, because it's Mass Effect. Yes, Mass Effect with my Guardians. Even though I don't like the movie version of the Guardians, which is now the main Guardians for some fucking reason, but whatever.
Because James Gunn is hilarious and makes things funny.
Yeah. But yeah, and I can't wait to play the fucking game. I would like to play that Guardians of the Galaxy game. I know people who you said is one person said it's using the Outriders engine, and I was like, well, I mean, Outriders is dead now, so I mean they might as well do something with it.
It's not like the Outriders had a bad engine per se. That doesn't,
I get what you're saying.
Well, I think the servers were garbage, but the game engine was fine.
Yeah, man, I'm not gonna say anything like it was this or that. I'm just gonna say it only failed simply because it's a looter shooter game, and they really need to stop with those. Unless it's like a looter shooter like Borderlands, which unfortunately is going to be the king of looter shooters for a while. But yeah.
But the one that's gonna have the most clout, yes. Because everybody wants to be a Destiny killer.
But Outriders didn't pride itself as a Destiny killer. It prided itself as a retard. Yes, I said it. I don't give a fuck. It literally pisses me off every time I think about the flaws of that game. Let's make it 3-player. Why? Dark Souls.
Because good shit.
Because good shit. And Destiny did it. Destiny did it. So Destiny literally said they wanted to copy off of Dark Souls and Star Wars. Okay. But we're going to do it too. But what is your reasoning? I don't know.
Because that's good shit.
It's good shit. Fucking
I don't know why
dumb.
Mr. McMahon's making a cameo in the gaming podcast, but
yeah, it's your fault though. So. Anywho, also the Origins game for Final Fantasy, that was pretty stupid. I played the demo and was thoroughly like, "This is fucking Neo."
my friend enjoys it, but he wants me to play it.
It's Neo.
Oh god, I don't want to do that again.
It is, and I'm not joking. Darkwave, have you played that demo?
Played, beaten, and deleted it.
Yeah. Is it not Neo?
It's a shittier Neo.
Thank you. It's
basically
Neo.
what Neo was in Alpha when Neo first came out.
Never want to do that again. Never,
Yeah,
ever, ever.
it's Neo.
But it has a difficulty, so it's not as, like, I guess, brutal.
Yeah, it's the quintessential I swear to God I will never buy that game type of game. Like legit. Like buying that game would literally be a waste of your fucking money. Type of
I
game.
thought it was free.
Free for what?
Am I missing something? Yes, I heard something about it being free.
Square Enix saying that game is free? I've never heard Square do that. Where Square do that at?
I don't know, but the only reason I give Square any type of props now is because of the simple fact that they actually tried things instead of just
Sticking to Final Fantasy?
Yeah.
You know, that's funny you should say that because that actually is what Square does.
Well, they're starting to try new things. Outriders.
Square published Outriders. They did not make it.
Fair, but at least
No, listen to me, Chief. Square Enix for the last decade has only made Final Fantasy games or games that take forever to make. Kingdom Hearts. Literally, these idiots literally only make Final Fantasy at this point. And then have been literally changing the bathwater every fucking time. They they put the big toe in the water. Up. Final Fantasy X-2. Nah, that's too cold. Change the bathwater. Up. Final Fantasy 11. Yeah, let's go change the bathwater. Final Fantasy 12. It's a little too cold. Okay, Final Fantasy 13. 13-2. 13-3. I don't know. Final Fantasy 14.
Nola Chrysalis?
Yeah. Chrysalis versus 13. No, let's change the bathwater again. Final Fantasy 15. This water is just warm. It has some positives, but it has some negatives. Hey, how about we find a way to fix the water to make it right? No, take the bathwater out. Final Fantasy 16. Get the fuck out of here. Square's retarded. I'm sorry. They're almost as bad as Sega. I don't care. I don't care. I'm almost as bad as Sega. They are almost as bad as Sega.
Wild thing as your HR department.
All right.
Yeah,
you are right. You are literally the HR department. I'm not even fucking lying. You technically are. You are the HR department for this podcast. Holy God, that is true. That's what makes it even worse.
Fire you from your own podcast.
But yeah, no joke though. Like, yeah, they do the same thing as Sega, but you know the reason why it's more acceptable than Sega, because at least they make good games.
Huh? Sega?
What?
Oh! I thought you meant Sega makes good games.
I was about to say, wait, what? No. Yakuza, Judgment, Persona don't count. Okay.
Yeah, because those are. Yeah, I was about to say. Are we talking about the same Sega?
I was about to say, just because Sega publishes those bitches doesn't mean they're good games. I mean, doesn't mean Sega makes good games. I mean, I'm sorry, I said the wrong thing. It doesn't mean Sega know how to make a good game. They barely know how to make something playable at this point. Also heard that New Genesis changed the whole system of your character, and I genuinely don't want to play Final Fantasy Star 2 anymore because of that.
I'm going to after my the Enix. The Enix rant of Enix.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, where y'all want me to go now?
I mean, before we move on to the next conference, which I have a rant
Like
for
while the
next
iron's hot.
Yeah, might as well strike it down, my guy. Because we're gonna move on to Capcom
I'm not
and
gonna
Bandai.
pause this fucking game right quick because I'm not going to do it while playing Dark Alliance. So, as a avid FF14 player, as a supporter of Square Enix and SquareSoft and whatever the fuck you want to call them for many years, this was a fucking embarrassment. Okay, this conference was trash. I get it. They announced Dragon Quest 12 recently, so you didn't need that or the Dragon Quest stuff, although a cinematic or something would have been nice for Dragon Quest 12 at E3. That's what E3 is supposed to be about. I get it. But how the fuck? And I know you support this game, but how the fuck do you not say anything about FF14? I mean, not FF14. FF7 Part 2. How do you not capitalize on what you showed last year with FF16?
Yeah, that was pretty weird. Like, I was like, wait.
You showed gameplay for FF16.
Before you get too deep into the rant, just based off what you just said, I do have a small theory. I think it's because Sony's having a show. They were, Sony just sent a little money their way. It was like, let us have those for our show. I think that's what's happening.
Oh, okay.
Even having a show.
Rumors say, well, no, they did put in a thing for PSX, so we're gonna get a PSX soon, I think.
Okay. Well, maybe we'll keep that there, but considering this is Square Enix conference, you would think they would show something.
Or say more at PSX.
With FF7 Part 2, right? You would think, right?
Yeah, you would think.
You would think. So, not only do you get that, or you don't get that, but then you get a bunch of no-name titles that no one gives two fucks about, and then you cap it off with the beloved FF Origin Strangers of Paradise, or wherever the fuck you want to call it, FF Dark Souls, FF Neo, whatever. It was a waste of time. Square Enix. I don't understand this. I don't. For all your FF7 remake clowns out there, are you excited? I would love to know. Because as far as I'm concerned, your game's not coming out to 2024 at this point. Nothing. Not a cutscene. Not a trail. Not a title screen. Nothing. And for those who say, "Oh, we just got the Yuffie, not Luffy. Jesus Christ, the Yuffie game integrated." Who gives a shit?
Integrate 3 fucking hours, and if you had paid for integrate, you're fucking dumb.
Who gives a shit? It's Yuffie. She should have been. The game should have been completed day one anyway, so she should have already been played with and done with. And I love Yuffie. She's my favorite FF7 character. But who gives a shit? Who cares? This is an incomplete product that needs a second game. I do not want to buy a game or play a DLC to have to wait 2 more years to continue a story. I don't care what anyone says, oh, it's a sequel, it's a reimagining. Who gives a shit? The fact that they showed nothing, you're telling me I'm gonna get this FF14, FF Neo game before I get FF Part 2? You're telling me I'm gonna potentially get this FF Neo game over the one game that actually looked good in FF16.
Yes.
That FF Neo game was absolutely bare bones garbage. First of all, I hate slow characters. I absolutely hate slow characters. Great sword characters, the spear. The best part about the whole game was being a mage. And even then, there was some issues. Now, granted, this is alpha. I will give it a second look down the line. I do think there's some potential there. But this is what you're giving me? This. Who gives a shit? No one cares about FF Neo. I know I don't. Jack, Jed, and the two of the most useless partners in the history of gaming.
Really? I didn't even beat
Useless
the demo.
clown.
I literally got
Yeah.
a quarter way through the demo and then stopped playing it and said, "Yeah, we're done
They
here."
are fucking useless. Watch them. Watch what they do, especially against the boss fight. They're both melee characters, by the way, and watch what they do. Now, like I said, this is alpha, so I'm not going to say the game itself it will be a failure. The game might will be good. Hell, I may be on here in about a year, say how many hours I put into the fucking game. But as of right now, I don't care about this. I don't care. Chaos.
It even had the fucking
the most generic garbage. Chaos.
I mean, that's the name of the final boss from the first one, and it's Garland from the first one. And I was like,
yeah,
okay.
What was the dialogue?
I was like,
Chaos.
why are you guys attacking Chaos? And I was like, wait a second. And I thought about it for a second. I was like, I'm sorry. I played the first Final Fantasy, but and this is realistic here. This is why time travel is bullshit. Because Garland, no.
I don't know.
Chaos is Garland in the future.
Yeah.
So, how are they even talking about or even know who Chaos is when he doesn't exist yet? Nor does he even have anything to do with going back in time.
Because this is a backdrop. This isn't a continuation of anything Final Fantasy. They're just using Final Fantasy 1's world.
So then, what's the end game here? Are you gonna kill Chaos? Which doesn't make any sense. Just kill Garland and you kill Chaos.
Some people are predicting that Jack, your generic Chaos character, will become Garland. Who knows, man? It's a side story.
No,
I don't give a shit.
Because the Garland that's already in the game has the voice actor of Garland.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't make any fucking sense. That would be one of those times where I literally will look at the game like, you're serious right now. So when the game come out, it's either going to get gameflied by me, or I'm just not going to touch it with a 10-foot.
Well, it's a side story. Means it's non-canon. So it's not canon. It's just using the world as a backdrop.
Okay, that makes sense.
It's not canon.
Then yeah, at that point,
so
it's just like,
whatever they're doing, whatever spin they want to do, it's whatever they're doing. It's just a side. It's just almost a what if story using that backdrop and using the characters from that world. That's all it is.
Okay, that makes sense.
The game. The problem is, it's not that the game is coming out. It's not. You want to make a FF Neo game. You want to dip your hands to the cookie jar of the Neo and the Dark Souls and Soulsborne, whatever. Great. You and everyone else in the world will do it. Elden Ring will shit all over you come next year anyway. But my problem is, who gives a shit? You had one job. Technically two. But one job. Show off the games that you showed off last year and give people maybe a slight glimmer of chance they actually get to play this game next year. As far as I'm concerned, unless this shit is still at PSX, which, I mean, I don't know why you would waste it there. Who watches that? Really?
Oh, by the way, it is the same people who made Neo. It's Koei Tecmo. Yeah, so that's why I was I was laughing so hard. I was like, wait a second. This is just fucking Neo.
Yeah, it's 2 minutes. But my thing is, if they show this at PSX, no one watches PSX, so no one's gonna remember it, unless you're an actual fucking gamer. So the way it looks right now, FF7 fans out there, you know, you slave fans, you won't be getting a game for another year and a half, unless they reveal it at some random show, which I don't know why they wouldn't do it at E3, your biggest thing of the year. But unless they show something later this year, you're not getting that game till 2023, so it seems. Unless they pull a rabbit out the ass and they do one of them news where they're not going to show anything until they have full gameplay, and unless they pull Nintendo where they're not going to show it until it's ready that year. So they can show it next year and it comes out at the end of the next year. But as it stands right now, for what we know, Square Enix, they're not getting that game until 2023.
Yeah, it's Square Enix.
Final Fantasy 16. Well, that's looking. Even though we've seen gameplay with no UI, that's looking about the same time. Those are the only two games any self-respecting Square Enix fans gave a shit about. The rumors of this FF Origin shit was out there. It was intriguing, but ultimately, no one gave a shit.
Yeah.
Unless you're a Neo fan. All three of those should have been announced. FF Origins, great. More stuff on FF16, maybe, I don't know, a bit of trailer, maybe actual slight gameplay. You showed us gameplay earlier, how you showed us maybe a little bit of UI. Something's been about a year now. And then a teaser, or trailer, CG, something of FF7 Part 2, because as far as I'm concerned, that's all you have right now. I didn't expect Dragon Quest, you just announced that shit, which was a mistake in my eyes. Why announce something so close to E3? Waste. And just a fucking embarrassment.
Oh,
yeah, Dragon Quest 12, Dragon Quest 10 offline, Dragon Quest 10 new expansion, Dragon Quest 3 Octopath Traveler remake, basically. All was already announced.
Yeah, 3 was announced, and I was like, ooh.
All that was announced about, what, 2 weeks before E3? Why not just save it?
Yeah.
Now, maybe they couldn't save it for time constraints. But you showed me, and another thing, I'm getting to them too. Guardians of the Galaxy, Avengers fans, how do you feel? What a way of showing the Avenger fan base.
I was pissed. I was literally pissed.
How do you? First of all, to me that game was fucking terrible. I'm not buying it. Number two, because number one, why am I only using Star Lord? Number one,
Mass Effect. It's Mass Effect.
I don't care. Yeah, Mass Effect's been terrible as of late. Now hasn't.
Okay. I mean, yes.
Except for the Legendary Edition.
Yeah. Except for 3. 3 was still bad. It's still bad.
See, that's the difference, though. I created a character, so I wouldn't give a fuck about using these other characters. You don't use these. I don't care about Star Lord. I'm more of a Rocket fan or a Gamora fan. I don't give a fuck about Star Lord. Not for the entire game. Oh, I make choices. Great. But how does this feel to make Avengers fans? So you're telling me that they're just getting Black Panther, and y'all waste, even though it's 2 different companies, 2 different developers, I understand that, but they get a Guardians of the Galaxy game before the Guardians of the Galaxy actually come into the Avengers.
It's Spider-Man. We forgot about that guy.
Oh no, I was getting to that, but you know, where's Spider-Man? When he announced day one that the game, he announced the day the game was announced that he'll be a Sony exclusive. Where's Spider-Man?
I don't know.
I think he might be next.
Black Panther. If Black Panther comes out before Spider-Man, something is fucking wrong.
Well, he is coming out before Spider-Man.
Yeah, why this game even last that long? That's the question. The player base is so fucking done. It's actually worse than Anthem at this point. I would play Anthem over Avengers at this point.
Damn.
Yeah, Avengers was.
It was a letdown, and
by the way, the Guardian characters, are these gonna be the same models in Avengers? Because that would also be another spit in the face. Why are we wasting our time with Guardians of the Galaxy game? How about y'all both merge, considering this game is a fucking failure, and put Guardians in there as ASAP?
Yeah, but at the same time, the reason why I more prefer the Guardians of the Galaxy game, because they said a few things that literally made me go, oh, okay, I'll buy you. Which was, simple. It's single player. It's not nonsense.
I don't care.
I've been burned one time by a superhero game. I do not want to be burned again.
Okay.
Okay.
The game.
Unless it's Spider-Man at this point, or Batman. No.
The game doesn't even look that good to me. And honestly, the fact that you only use one character pisses me off. This is Guardians of the Galaxy. This is the one hero game where you shouldn't be forced to use one fucking character.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Hey, yo, what the hell happened to Ultimate Alliance? That's my question.
It's a good game and it's on the Switch, and I've played and beaten it.
The new one.
Yeah, it's on the Switch. I've played and beaten it.
It's on the Switch.
Yeah, that's actually
no one gives a fuck.
Yeah, no one gave a fuck because they added Moon Knight. They added a lot of people, and the Guardians is already in the game. So were the Avengers. So it was like, oh, and guess what? So was Kamala Khan, and so was everybody. So when this Avengers game was announced and Kamala Khan was announced as the main character, as well as a lot of people, were like, what in the hell is the point? Why don't you just fucking whatever?
Avengers. I already knew. I already had my hope. My doubts. Especially when you heard how the game was gonna be live service.
Yeah.
Folks, when will y'all start to learn that when I say it's gospel here? Live service. Babylon Falls. We're getting to you, clowns. Live service sucks. You wait 6 months to a year and then decide to buy it. Babylon Fall. How do you look worse than you did 2 years ago? I would love to know.
What happened? Why
does every archer in every game now look boring, generic? I'm watching the Archer Class 1. This looks boring as hell. Boring. Just no excitement there. And Platinum Games, I'm sorry, man. I love you. I do. But, what happened? And then live service? Really now? So what you just told me, Platinum and Square Clowns, is wait 6 months to a year and come back and look on Babylon Fall. Because there's no way I'm buying this game day one. Not now. I thought this was supposed to be Platinum Games Dark Souls. What happened, Platinum? Did you get scared? Did you get a little hurt? Did you look at Godfall and say, oh, maybe we need to change that up a bit because Godfall fucking sucks too.
But there's a difference though. They have the ability to look at some of this joint and be like, let's not do this. So my problem
of Godfall.
No.
Hey, yo, hold up.
That's
Hold the fuck, right? But when I saw it, I was like, yo, what the fuck? Why would you do it live service? I thought it was supposed to be like your Dark Souls, and it turned it into a live service nonsense. And I was like, oh no, you guys got what is called fear
money. And the last thing I will say before we move on, and I want your opinions on this because this doesn't make any sense to me. We all remember FF15, right?
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
it was an okay game.
Noctis could use every weapon, almost every weapon.
Yes.
Yet one of the bigger complaints was that people wanted to use Prompto, Gladio, Ignis, even though he could still use most of their weapons.
Yeah.
How long did that game come out? When did that game come out? What, 2017?
15.
2015 for FF15?
Yeah.
Okay. So, we fast forward to 2021. Okay? This is under Square Enix roof, by the way. And you're giving me games like Strangers of Paradise and Guardians of the Galaxy where you give me characters. Everyone who knows me knows I like the speed over power route in my Souls games.
Yeah.
You give me a character who's my partner who uses my playstyle, and yet I can't choose that character, at least in the alpha. And there's been no reveals unless you can choose other characters other than Jack. Why haven't they learned? This is my problem with Guardians of the Galaxy. You know everyone's going to ask to play as Gamora, as Rocket, as Groot, as Drax.
Yeah.
Why have you learned your lesson? 15, by the way, is under your roof. Do you not remember the complaints of FF15? And And Noctis could use all their weapons, so it's not like it was a whole new playstyle.
Yeah. The only thing that was freaking Ignis is he's actually one of the better characters in that game. So it's like I want to.
Yeah, but my thing is, why would you look at this? They made patches so you can actually play as those characters on the field. So why would you make these games now and make it to where you can't play these characters? Knowing what happened with 15. And again, Noctis could basically use every weapon. So it's not like you couldn't use daggers or a great sword, because Noctis could use that shit and more. And people still complain they want to play as Gladio or Prompto or Ignis on the battlefield, not just Noctis all the time. So why would you make these games now, especially Guardians of the Galaxy, which doesn't make any sense on why you get these Star-Lord, but why would you do that now knowing the first thing people are going to say is, I want to use Kormora.
I feel
or
like...
I want to use the ninja guy from Stranger Paradise.
Square might have gotten the license from Marvel and set up Guardians thinking that Avengers was going to be a hit, and then they were so wrong, but it was already in development, so they couldn't say, oh, stop the game. So it was just like an L for them that they had to swallow.
Yeah.
I just don't understand why. Even if you look at Guardians, look at Final Fantasy. Why am I forced to use Jack? Why must I use the slow greatsword? Now, granted, he could get every weapon like Noctis, probably. I'm assuming he will. He's the bland generic character that we have to play as, and I don't know why. But you would think, well, if we're going to give you partner characters, maybe we should give them the ability to play as said partner characters, just in case. Yeah. Because we had this problem with 15. And they're not creating a character, so it's not like they're not going to, it's not like Covain, where I don't give a fuck about playing these other characters. A, I get their skills anyway, and B, I create my character. Now, some people may say, oh, well, why don't you say this about Scarlet Nexus? No, Scarlet Nexus has that problem, too. There are characters I would love to play as. There's guys who dual swords. That's my playstyle. I would love to play as those characters, but what can I do? And by the way, Scarlet Nexus, as of now, plays better than Stranger Paradise. Granted, one is an alpha and one is done. But if Jack here does not get every weapon in the game, I'm assuming he will. I'm not buying the game. I'm not. Playing that game as a slow character was unbearable. I felt like I was slow in molasses, even as a Dragoon. So if I don't see a rogue class in there, or some type of speedy class in that game, so I can play my playstyle in those type of game,
yeah,
find that shit, I will watch it on YouTube. And watch everyone else suffer while I prepare my anus for Elden Ring. Okay. So that's my rant on the Square Enix, because they deserve it. They deserve a lot more than that.
Let's move on to Gearbox's painful fucking conference.
So Gearbox decides in their infinite wisdom to make Godfall on PlayStation 4?
When was this worth E3 announcements?
Yeah.
Are we in 2014 when PS4 was actually a relevant console? First of all, I'm sorry. Who gives a fuck? Godfall was a failure from day one. That game is a 10-minute game and you're done. Play with all the weapons and you're done. Who gives a shit? You've done nothing with the game until now. It's been a year.
And you want to know what makes it even funnier to me? It's the fact that, that was one of the games they were like, it can only be good and done on PlayStation 5. And I'm like, okay.
I mean, not really. When you play the game, that's going to be easy to do. But why is this worth E3? Who makes announcements I have never seen, and maybe I'm wrong, in the next gen, where we specifically, at E3, announce something going back to the past gen. Never. It's one thing to say also on PS4 as you're announcing something for PS5. That's one thing. But we're specifically announcing something for past gen console. That isn't E3 news. That's something you do. That is something you do when you put a sticky note on IG and Thor saying, "Hey, announce this for us on your site." Thank you. This isn't E3 news. Your game is dead. Who is still playing Godfall? I know I'm not.
I don't know.
I beat it. I got the last suit. The suit I actually wanted to play as. I looked at the game and I'm like, yeah, I'm done. The combat was fine. That's about it. Boring. Who gives a shit? I would love to know.
Like, what is the last boss in that game, actually?
The last boss is the wolf armor that you actually get. It's your brother, the character's brother, some shit. The boss fights are fine.
Okay.
Ish. But I mean, listen, when you make games like this, you have to supply not only longevity in terms of fun factor, but content. You don't hear shit about Godfall until now. It's been almost a year.
That new DLC that's coming out for it. It's coming out.
Yes, but it's almost been a year, and you're telling me as a year ago, I've heard nothing about this game. I saw no roadmap. I saw nothing. This is it. In a year, you expect someone to keep playing this game as generic and boring as it is. You play it for the story, then you do a couple missions, and you realize, well, shit, this is boring. The suits honestly don't make a damn bit of difference. Each suit is basically the same suit, except for a slight change in their ultimate. It's not like Warframe where everything feels unique. It's not even like Anthem, where the suits at least play differently. You can't go in there with a fucking the speedy suit and think you're going to survive like you would with the Goliath or the Colossus suit. There's no way.
Yeah.
Again, another game I would play. Another time I would play Anthem over. I would play Anthem 1,000 times over than touch Godfall ever again.
Wow.
And we said Anthem was shit, which it was. But look what we've gotten: Godfall, the future Babylon Fall, calling it trash already because live service. What was that again? I said I'll play over this. I mean,
I don't know. That's unforgettable.
Just
Square. But going back to what I was saying, fucking, I think fucking Gearbox lost their fucking minds because I'm pretty sure they literally have Randy Pitchford, aka the Poison of Gearbox, fucking randomly sit around and talk about the fucking movie. And I was like, Randy, who gives a fuck about this movie? Seriously.
I know.
And then when they showed the silhouettes of the people playing the characters, I was like, who the fuck cares about this movie, Randy? Oh, they brought this movie to life and blah, blah. I'm like, Randy, you're such a bitch. That's all I wanted to go. Like, who cares? This is not E3 worthy. You didn't announce things besides a thing for Tiny Tina, which, you know, if I'm not really a Tiny Tina fan, was amazing for those people who like, oh yeah, we get to play a fantasy version of Borderlands. And, you know, in my head, I'm like, yay?
I didn't get two shits.
Yeah, that was one of those situations where I was like, okay. But, yes, I am one of the people that I was like, so why is Godfall being announced when previously they said it can only be done on PlayStation 5 for the fucking 4? What are you guys doing? That's all I was going on. I was like, you guys have lost your fucking mind. Seriously. But now people on PlayStation 4 get to play a shitty game. And now, unfortunately, I actually know a friend that says, it's exactly what I want in the game. And he's one of the people that got mad that it got compared to Warframe. And I'm like, yes, fucking terrible games don't get a chance to choose whether to compare it to anything. They don't get the rights to choose.
It's Warframe.
It's
So
just
worse.
fucking Warframe, but worse. I was like, that's what I said. I was like, games like that don't get the right to choose. He's like, why not? I was like, do you think any game wants to be compared to Dark? Do you think what's the name of that fucking game? Lords of Fallen wanted to be compared to Dark Souls? No, but it did, and it failed. Like, if you're a failure, then when you get compared to the better game, it's out of your hand. Anthem got compared to Destiny so many fucking times, and it was out of the fucking game's hands. They couldn't even do anything about it.
Pretty much.
That was the developer's fault on Anthem's end.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, yeah, it was their fault. But at the end of the day, my guy, and I say this for every shitty game, and if any developer ever hears this coming out of my mouth, when your game is worse than the game that it's compared to, you don't have a choice. You have to sit there and take the L. Oh man, this is a worse Destiny. Whoops. Dog, I would hate that shit.
I mean, they developers put themselves in a situation. I mean, the problem is no one wants to innovate nowadays. So I mean, you get what you get. Look at all these fucking Soulsborne games that come out. You know, you're gonna be compared to Demon Souls and Dark Souls. It's just when you make your game aesthetically the same game that someone else already did. If your game isn't better, or at least on par, you're just gonna be categorized as a shittier version of blah blah blah.
Exactly, which is the
I mean, look at Code Vein. Code Vein is fine, but what do people say? It's anime Souls.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
PlayStation All Stars.
Yeah, it's
a shittier Smash Brothers. Like
it really was. You can't even say otherwise.
Just, you know, I get. You know, you wanna, and this is again because companies tend to not. You know, they don't want to diverse themselves, and that is, you know, an issue. No company, all these games, and I meant to say this in Ubisoft when we were talking about Ubisoft, but all their games are the same games.
Yeah, Galactic literally said this. He was like,
"That's the reason I don't like them."
Like all their games are the same, every single one of them, and they keep. And I say this, and I really would like somebody at Ubisoft to hear me one day. Not every game needs to be an RPG. Not every single game needs to have a big open map and you do multiple things to unlock it. That becomes very tedious really quickly. Like, Jesus Christ, yo.
Yeah, you know, like, everyone say, "Oh, this game is so good." It's like it's the same game, like the Far Cry games. The Far Cry games have been the same since 3, and they've had no innovation. It's just palette swaps.
Exactly. Oh man,
the last Ubisoft game I liked was Watch Dogs.
Damn, son.
Yeah, Watch Dogs tried, but even Watch Dogs, the first one, was a fucking bore.
That's what I mean. That was the last one I liked, and I barely liked Watch Dogs.
That's the sad part. And like,
Ubisoft can do a good concept, but
they burn it to the ground. Like they did the whole DLC for the villains of Far Cry, and I'm looking at this.
I was like, are you kidding me?
But it's not even that. It's like you look at this and you're like, but wait, there's only one bit. Like none of them are still better than Voss.
It was all. I'm like, yo, just why? Like Voss, Ubisoft tried to create Voss 3 times after Voss died. Why did they do that?
They got nothing else. That's why.
I was like, yo, are you serious? Voss was
why did Square try to recreate Cloud with Noctis?
No, they tried to do that with Lightning.
And Lightning too. Why did they try to do that?
They didn't try to recreate it with what's his name. They tried to only recreate it with Lightning. Literally, he wanted Lightning with he wanted Cloud with a female Cloud, so he created Lightning. That's literally what he said.
I'm just in terms of like pushing him as the Cloud's face is everywhere.
Oh yeah, they tried it and it failed miserably because it's like, oh, you want to gain extra insight of what's going on in the game? Watch this movie, watch the anime,
It's not necessarily that it's Noctis clouds, that they try to push that game as big as FF7.
Yeah, and it didn't work
That's what I'm
out.
trying to say.
Yeah. That's what. If that's what you mean, then yeah, you're right. And it failed miserably. But like, Jesus Christ, yo.
It's the same reason. Like, why do you think Resident Evil just slaps Chris' face on it? Because they know that they're trying to. It's gonna
That's
work.
more Leon than anything. Leon's more of the poster child. In my opinion, I think Leon's more poster child than Chris at this point.
I want to say they're even.
Leon, the thing with Leon is he's the movie guy.
Yeah.
More so, and that's going to get to the mainstream a little bit more than a little bit more than Chris. Like, Chris is popular. I'm not saying he's not.
Yeah.
But Leon is like, he's the one that most people will associate with Resi.
Because he's the badass one.
Yeah, he's the more mainstream one because everyone that mom played Resi 4.
I mean,
so,
if you haven't played Resident Evil 4 right now, then yeah, you need to.
When you play Resi 4, you know that Leon is the quintessential poster child of the franchise. It's not even, like I said, people love Chris. I like Chris, but Leon is just he's the main. He's just the mainstream.
That's why it kills me that they don't fucking use Leon anymore.
Well,
that's another thing.
They use him. It's just the first issue is just the Ethan situation, which
they tried to push Ethan.
Yeah, and thank God I don't have to worry about that clown anymore. Mm-hmm. Even though I haven't touched the game yet, it was spoiled to me, but I don't really give a shit. I'll play the game when it goes to sell.
He was likable in 8.
Nah.
Nah.
The thing with me, I didn't mind Ethan. Because Ethan's character was fine. He had a purpose. It was defined, and it was fun. It's just for me, for a person who wants this fucking series to end, I felt he was unnecessary. All that meant was that, let me phrase that. At first, I figured, okay, they're going to do Ethan. He'll be around, but he'll be another fucking Billy Cohen that I'll have to fucking pray on a whim that we get any more character out of him because he'll probably disappear and never to be seen again. Lucky for us, they didn't take that route with him. They gave us the, he's a continuous character, and his story has an end, like Pierce did in Resi 6. You don't have to worry about Pierce anymore because his story had an ending. As a lore guy, I just want people's stories to wrap up. Ada, Leon.
Listen, if they don't make Leon clap Claire's cheeks, bro, just let it happen.
Why would Leon clap Claire?
Hey, bro, just let it happen.
Why would that happen, though?
Sir, there's only one woman Leon's interested in. Right? That woman is actually probably the more interesting woman in the entire series because she still has so much mystery around her, and I would love for them to wrap that shit up. And that is Ada Wong. There is no other woman. There is no woman Leon is clapping before Ada Wong. Maybe Helena.
It's the meme where people are saying that Chris is gonna call Leon up and be like, "Hey, yo, just take my sister already, bro."
Plus, there's only been one person that she's even maybe slightly liked, and that was Mr. Burnside over there, who's long since dead at this point. Steve Burnside, for those who don't know.
Oh man, they're trying to play it up in these new remakes, man.
Yeah, they try to ham it up, but it doesn't work.
I mean, they already who and who? Leon and Claire?
They did try to do a little,
I mean, not really, because they're still pushing the Ada agenda. Because
they did.
They felt like, I mean, we already knew that she kissed him in Resi 2. That was always a thing. But it was like, this time, there was no question that she did or did. In the other one, like in Dark Side Chronicles, you show the picture, they show like her looking at him, but you didn't see him, and you could tell she kissed him, but it still wasn't like explicitly shown. And then back in the old days, people didn't know which was canon, the one where she kisses him or when she falls. Even though we knew eventually, but of for a while we didn't know. So yeah, it was very apparent in Resi 2 remake that they are still pushing the Claire, Leon. I mean, not the Leon Ada dynamic, which is fine. I'm fine with that. It is continuity.
Right.
You know?
And, speaking of another conference, Capcom's conference.
Cap.
Did anybody...
I am not too mad at that. Because they already said they wasn't announcing anything now. So.
Yeah, but what in the fuck was that?
I mean, let's face it. They already threw their... They already have their... Then they show... I mean, they already showed all their stuff this year. Monster Hunter Stories 2, Monster Hunter Rise. It wouldn't have mattered because anything short of Dragon's Dogma 2, no one would have gave a shit anyway.
Well, actually, I do have a prediction for PSX, and I feel like this is also... It also ties into the other theory I was telling you about, how I think people were holding back stuff for Sony's conference. I think Capcom... it also ties into the other theory I was telling you about, how I think people were holding back stuff for Sony's conference. I think Capcom... it also ties into the other theory I was telling you about, how I think people were holding... It'd be a big reveal they're trying to save. Straight just off for that reason. Sony has Evo. And, yeah.
But, bro, there's no need for a 6 right now.
It's either Street Fighter 6 or we're gonna get like a Street Fighter Ultimate Pack 97
But that's
Deluxe 90 Mega 5, because you know how Capcom be with their Street Fighters.
Yeah. But legit, if you were to say, "Hey, Wild Fang, is Street Fighter 6 a thing?" I'd be like, "No." Why? They're not even done with 5. Not even close. They're just now fixing it after the one Yoshinori Ono left and killed Street Fighter forever. Jesus.
I personally think anything aside from Dragon's Dogma 2,
no one would have cared. For me, Mega Man X9 would have fucking made me go, ooh.
Well, I think at this point, even Mega Man X, anything is no. That's what it is. The only two games I can see people being like, "All right, Capcom, you have my attention," is Mega Man Legends something and Dragon's Dogma 2. At this point, there's nothing else.
Also, rumored Resident Evil 4 PSX might be a thing.
How about not?
RE4 remake.
How about not?
Yeah,
I do
that's
not.
kind of what I was saying.
There's no need. It doesn't even need a remake. Like, I can see you maybe touching up the controls.
Well,
I can see
actually, it's gonna happen.
Remake.
I think they need.
I'm sure it is. It doesn't need a remake, like a full-on remake. It doesn't need.
Why I'm saying that is because Capcom is being sued out of the ass because apparently somebody stole this lady's artwork, and she finally came forward and showed her notebook and the dates, and sure enough, in Resident Evil 4, a lot of textures and shit was stolen. So they're being sued out the ass, and they probably but have to pay her money. So it makes sense that they want to remake that shit.
We don't need it. I'm not saying they won't. I'm just saying we don't need.
We don't need it, but Capcom needs it because that's their moneymaker. They know if they put out a 4, everyone's gonna get it. So
I mean, of
the
course,
fact that
but the actual Resi fans want Code Veronica.
I mean, I know for a fact I'm gonna buy 4 no matter what, But
I mean, depends, because you have to remember, outside of like 4 at the time was the longest Resi game of all time.
Yeah,
and it still might be. Outside of 6, we don't really need to count 6, but in a single playthrough, I believe 5. 6 is. 4 is still the longest. Maybe I think 8 might be. Maybe 8 might eclipse it by a little bit. But okay, so 4 is still the longest. But it's like he doesn't need if you want to do a full remaster where you remaster the controls and stuff for modeling times. I think that's all you need. You don't need a full-on remake, in my opinion.
I think they're just doing it to go with the down the line type shit. I don't think they're gonna do 5 and 6, or they might do 6.
5 and 6.
I don't think they'll do 5. They might do 6.
They need to do Code Veronica because Code Veronica is very important, and they need to do it.
They'll probably do Code Veronica just because a lot of people are very about it. Yeah.
Yeah, like
that is one I'd play that.
It's actually, I mean, that's truthfully, if you want to be technical, that's the true Resident Evil 3. Yeah. Realistically.
Yeah.
Like, Resident 3 is just an expansion of 2. If you want to be real honest, I'm talking about the original, not even talking about remake. Like, the original is really an expansion of 2.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, so it needs to.
Off the concept alone, you can tell it's essentially just
Yeah, so Code Veronica is very, essential to the story, at least for Claire and Steve and, that Wesker shit.
Yeah, because they had some important shit into it, but
I do understand. But 4 is the more popular, it's the most popular Resident game of all time, so it's going to make the more money.
Yeah,
which is why that lady is literally going to come up. She is about to be rich as all hell. When you think about it, especially.
The real question is, where was these artworks from? Was it like on the internet?
Well, you got to think way back to when they were developing Resident Evil 4.
Yeah. So how would they even see her artwork? This is
was on the internet mostly.
Yeah, I would assume, right? It had to be on it, even though the internet was not really. I mean, it was a thing, but.
You can look it up though. Like I've seen the images myself. They are legitimately blatant copies.
Yeah, so I'm assuming some clown saw it on the internet and
and they just now got caught.
Yeah, and they also got in trouble for Propeller Head in 8.
And 8, yeah.
Yeah, it's funny that the 8 thing is fine, but it's funny that we're waiting 20 years since 4 just to now say anything about this. Like, where were you? I don't know when the game fucking released.
Imagine she gets royalties on Resident Evil 4 sales.
She's getting this shit.
She might. Although I would still just ask her, what took you so long? Because the guy from 8 came out like almost immediately.
Yeah, that motherfucker was like, "Wait, what?" That's
why that was like
she knew she was gonna get a bag, so she's like, let me wait as long as possible.
I guess. She probably still could have just gotten royalty from all the sales it was going to make. But if she sat there and said, I'm going to wait until seeing how it's on other consoles, I'll just wait this out. I guess. But, I don't know, because a judge, a ruthless judge was like, so let me get this straight. You waited for 20 years to do this. When you knew the game existed, it's not like you didn't know.
There's no way you couldn't have.
And you're telling me now you want to cash in. Where were you 20 years ago? If you didn't care 20 years ago, why would you care now?
Yeah.
It's just the thing. It's just because it's like, okay, the guy who did the Resi 8 thing, he came out within a couple months?
No, not even months. Came out within like a week or two.
Yeah, a week. Calling that shit out. Like, yeah, stole my design. He showed it and all that. Granted, I don't know if we know when these things are drawn, but we'll just say that they stole it. And he came out immediately.
No. The Propeller Head one is clearly a blatant obvious because it's from an old movie that he created.
That's right. Yeah,
that one is blatantly stolen. Up to when and including like the way he moves, all that dumb shit. It was like, yo, you guys blatantly stole this shit.
Yeah, and he came out within minutes, within a week. Yes. Whereas this girl or this woman who drew the stuff that was in Resi 4, I'm not saying she doesn't deserve money for it, and I think she should win. But at the same time, the question has to be asked. This is so strong to you. Why did you wait so long before saying anything? Because not saying her date, she didn't do it or anything, but anyone can draw something and say, yeah, you took this from me, whenever. Considering you waited so long.
Yeah.
To say anything about Resi 4, that your art was in the game. It just bothers me you would wait. That's all. It just, and this ain't a speaking out movement type of situation. This is someone stealing your work. If your artwork is stolen, because artwork is artwork, there's really no copyrights behind artwork. If someone steals your artwork and you think you're owed that artwork, then you need to get it, get your money for it.
By the way, it's specifically art in the what's it called? In the castle.
Oh wow!
He designs the castle.
Yeah, that's the big part of the. That's a big part of the game. I don't know, man. For me, it's a weird situation. I think she should get what she deserves. If so, although I don't know the logistics. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's weird because your art it's like that almost be like me creating Link High on WWE, and then a character named Link High comes into the real world, and I want to sue them for taking. I don't. It's like, do you even have any rights to that? Really?
Yeah.
Like,
that's the only reason Capcom might win.
That's what I'm saying. Like, do you have any rights? Yeah, you drew it, but you didn't like put it in any properties. Not in a book. You just drew it on a piece of in your art book. You didn't go anywhere with it. Number one, you didn't. You waited all this time to say anything. It just comes down to was she not like I said. I'm not saying she doesn't deserve it, but in the courts, would they say that she even gets it because it's she. Like I said, it's the same as me creating a character on wrestling, and then said character randomly appears in WWE with a similar or the same name. It'd be basically like that. It's like, because I mean, just because I created someone named Link Kai, someone doesn't mean someone else in the world hasn't created someone named Link Kai. Who's to say I'm the only one who can think of a name called Link Kai? I don't know, man. I don't know. It's a weird thing, and it's only because she waited for so fucking long.
Yeah, if I were a lawyer or whatever, I'd feel like this would make a lot more sense. But
I don't know.
To me, I feel like it's gonna go into her favor
in this case.
Yeah, I know what you're saying makes 100% a logical sense. Well, I feel like it might end up going in his favor. Like I don't think Capcom's going to get away with this.
Yeah, Capcom's not going to get away with the propeller head one at all. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear it. We can hear you.
Yeah, Capcom's not going to get away with the propeller head one in the slightest because clearly.
Yeah, no. I mean, that's in a movie that's in shit. It's just her situation is a little bit different.
It's different,
yeah.
You didn't put it in. It's not used in media. Mm-hmm. You drew it in a book or whatever. And if you see fan art on the internet, I mean, if she came out with it sooner, I think
there's probably like more to it. Like she probably uses this work for something, but
I would assume, but I mean, I can't assume at the same time. I mean, we just don't know the logistics of the situation. It's just because she took so long, it may be harder for her to get what she, deserves, in my opinion. Because, like I said, it's the same. Like I said earlier, it's the same thing as me creating a wrestler, but then said wrestler appears in WWE, or saying,
Yeah, that makes sense.
That also points towards why I believe Capcom might be on the chopping block in terms of like up for grabs, and they're biased towards Sony, so Sony might be getting Capcom soon, in my opinion.
You talking about buying them?
Yeah. Because think about it, if they're going to lose both of these lawsuits, especially the Resident Evil 4 one, that's going to be a lot of money. They're going to need something. They might be, down bad enough to sell.
Yeah, but will Sony buy them?
Sony would be dumb not to buy them.
Yeah.
Literally. Xbox. I mean, but see, Xbox has more money.
That is fair. But Capcom has more loyalty to Sony.
Dude?
Yeah. 100% more loyalty to Sony.
I mean, wasn't there Devil May Cry 5 demo only on Xbox for a short period of time, too?
Yes.
Before it even hit PlayStation and shit like that, so...
Yeah. I'm a little confused when you say that.
I don't know.
But then you have the Resident Evil 7 stuff.
What's going on with Resident Evil 7?
The Resident Evil VR.
I mean, that's
VR. But that's VR. Xbox doesn't deal with VR. But did they have... Has there been any exclusive things?
Yes, Street Fighter 5.
For what's exclusive for Street Fighter 5? Is that just exclusive to PlayStation?
It's a PlayStation exclusive.
Oh, I mean, I guess. I don't know. I mean, money speaks, man. Sony. I mean, what really is Capcom really gonna? What is it gonna make Monster Hunter exclusive? That's not gonna happen.
Probably not Monster Hunter. But they'll probably go with something, their new stuff. Maybe Resident Evil.
I mean, Resident Evil, but,
that'd be a pretty big deal.
I mean, Resident's already been down the exclusive path before, so it wouldn't be anything new. I don't think Xbox people would really care about not playing a Resident Evil game. I mean, Resident Evil games, 8 is fine, 8 is great, but it's not like the fucking end-all be-all.
That's fair. Then Capcom just has a lot of series that I know if Sony were to buy them, they would definitely take advantage and be like, yeah, you gotta make that like now.
Well, what do they have, really, outside of...
Capcom has a lot of dead series.
I mean, they have a lot of dead series, but... I mean... The only one that they're gonna really capitalize on would be Mega Man. And that would be Mega Man Legends, which...
Mega Man... Is Lost Planet Capcom?
Yes.
Yeah, the Lost Planet was... not received. I mean, it wasn't. I enjoyed Lost Planet 2 because it was just fucking hilarious to play, but it wasn't received well by the fans. Not 2.
Not 2, or you mean 3?
Well, let me phrase that. Critics didn't like Lost Planet 2. We liked Lost Planet 2 because it was a crazy co-op bullshit that was just hilarious to play.
Yeah, it was fucking nonsense. And
fair, but I feel like Sony would revive that, and then Capcom has those fighting games, that random fighting games. I feel like it would be a beneficial. It's just as beneficial as Bethesda was to Xbox. I think Capcom would be on the same.
But we don't know what games are truly coming to Xbox. Truly, like the Starfield game is a hit and miss because it's a new IP. We don't know if it's going to be good or not. It could be shit for all we know. The real question is Elder Scrolls going to be exclusive?
He confirmed that, did he not?
No,
he confirmed that Starfield was exclusive to Xbox. Which I'm like,
and they come out and apologize. Which I'm like, why are you apologizing? Sony that's another thing I'll touch on that later. But I do have an interesting thing about this Xbox shit. People are actually upset that Xbox has got Bethesda. I'm like, but why?
All right, and then before we move on to that, let's talk about Namco's E3 showing here.
What did they
do?
Nothing.
Again, another show that they said it wasn't announcing anything new because they have nothing to announce. Scarlet Nexus comes out. They don't. I mean, Scarlet Nexus comes out in a week.
Okay.
Blue Protocol. I mean, the problem with this E3,
it was boring as
a lot of companies is that but a lot of the company shit was already announced. Like Bandai Namco, their big game this year is Scarlet Nexus. Scarlet Nexus comes out within a week. There's nothing to show on that at E3 because it comes out within less than a week.
True. The
other big game is the MMO Blue Protocol, but the problem with that is that right now it's confirmed for a world. There are global plans, but as of right now, it's on. The release first will be Japan, so they have no reason to announce that at E3 because no one's going to give a shit right now. So all their big titles, the Naruto shit, I think that's Bandai Namco. They already announced that season 4 is going to have regeneration. They announced that months ago, and they revealed Sakura. You're not gonna. That's not E3 worthy.
Naruto? What Naruto game?
Strikers.
Ugh. People still play that shit?
Yes. And And Demon
Naruto.
Slayer, for
Anyone
those
will
who
play
don't
it.
know, that's not Bandai Namco.
It's
So
not.
it's published by Sega. It's done. I believe it's done by Cyber. I think it's done by CyberConnect or
CyberConnect.
someone, but it's published by Sega. So you can't put that at their press conference. So they had nothing because everything is coming out. We already like some people are like, oh, they could have showed. I don't. There's something I'm like, what is it to show? Just YouTube the shit, you know.
And then there's the final one, Nintendo.
Nintendo.
Nintendo in my book killed that shit.
Bro, Nintendo came in and said, "All right, bro. Like y'all did y'all thing, but
Y'all
like,
did y'all thing. It's my turn.
we Nintendo, bro."
Yeah, exactly. It was like my turn, and then they showed off everything they needed to show. There was no just a cutscene. They showed off gameplay, and they had a whole treehouse event under it. So literally,
As they do.
yeah. Hence why I'm like, I like their shits better because they show their games, and if it's coming, it's coming. If it's delayed, they let you know they're working on it. That's why I fuss with Nintendo.
And they usually don't show anything unless it's within the year out or like a couple months out.
Exactly.
Which people, I shit on not seeing Bayonetta 3, but I'm actually happy I'm not seeing anything because at least when I see it, I'll know it's in within 6 to 9 months.
Yeah.
You know?
Because Nintendo is they like that, and I like it. Hence why when they was like, oh yeah, this game's coming out 2021 or 2022, and it's like, oh shit. They never said this game is coming out whenever the fuck. Literally in Zelda, it was like 2022, or when it's done. Metroid Prime, they said they're working on Metroid Prime. They showed nothing else and said they're working on Metroid Prime.
Can't move.
And it's like, yo, okay.
Oh yeah,
But
Metroid 5.
yeah, Metroid Dread looks amazing. I'm gonna play the shit out of that. I'm gonna play Shin Megami Tensei.
Metroid 5 is Metroid Droid, right? I'm just making sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you got Shin Megami Tensei 5.
Yeah, Shin Megami Tensei. These motherfuckers is like, oh, I heard you like Persona. Let's go. It's like, yo, you motherfuckers know what you're doing. But
no, I do have one problem.
Well, what was it? You said you had one problem. What was up?
No. I'm thinking out loud about this Dark Alliance game. It's nothing bad, really.
Is it okay?
This might just. You know what? I will actually be honest with you. It's that first level was rather interesting. Now, how long will for the short term, it's pretty fun. The combat's very good, better than I thought it would be. My only issue is I killed the boss. There was 2 of them, and I don't know if I could. If the boss drop loot, because you're fighting, and when you kill both bosses, it just takes you to like the completion screen. So I don't know if it picks up the loot automatically. I don't know if it just sits there and you lose it. I don't know. Also, you can't equip, at least from what I'm seeing, while you're in the mission. You have to wait. Oh no, you can. Never mind, you can. It's just for some reason it wouldn't let me. So never mind. Take that back. But I think I gotta get my stuff from the guy. Yeah, I guess I gotta pick up my stuff. I don't know, it's weird.
Okay. Did anybody else have anything you want to say about E3 or any of the game stuff?
No. I think overall, I think E3 was a fucking waste of time.
It really was. Some of these companies did not need to. They didn't need to have showings or things that fucking had anything. They really did not. They should have just said, "We're not going this year." I wonder what Sony. I'm more interested in what Sony's going to do at this point.
I'm not, because let's face it, man. Sony, they give good things, but it's just like where the fuck, you know, I'm tired of them not being at E3. You know, it's getting to a point where on y'all shows, yeah, I tend to do good things, but it needs to be better. You know, like I just want y'all to actually contribute to E3. Is all.
True.
You know, these PlayStation events and all this other shit. It is. You know,
I kind of appreciate them. Just some of the simple fact that they only basically Sony only push stuff out when they're ready to show, not because it's E3 and we need to put stuff out.
Yeah.
Like some of these companies.
Some of these companies don't give a fuck. Hey man, I'm gonna show you this game. It's like 300 years down the line. Like what?
Wow. Why are you here then?
Like, then why did you show me this? This is so early. This is pre-alpha footage of this game. Like what? But yeah, all right. I guess we can wrap up the podcast unless anybody had anything else they wanted to say about the week.
no.
Alright, I think we're good. I think this is a new one in the books here. A lot of stuff we discussed here. But alright, we'll catch you guys in the flippy. Jesus.
And what is a flipping, bro?
This is rather interesting. I cannot deny I'm actually